Hey, Richard, just one question. What is this 222306403?
I was just
That's
going to ask that.
yeah, that's actually their team number. I'll just remove it. So that was for our reference to like search them faster, since we had like a lot of teams. So if
You
that
had
is
more
a
than 400
disturbance,
teams, huh?
no. So it's like a series. So people who came in a group of four were in the four series, and
Okay.
yeah.
Oh, okay.
But if it's a disturbance, I can definitely rearrange it. Like I'll remove the numbers.
No worries. It was just, I think, curiosity on our
All
part.
okay.
And the ratings out of 10, right? For
Yes.
yeah.
Yeah. So I'll just quickly tell if in case there's any discrepancy or in the end we have like a tie, the judges are allowed to like get the participants again and ask them questions, and based on that they can reevaluate the participants and change their marks.
Okay.
All right, Shivam, let's get started.
All right, Alpha. So, hello everyone. Welcome back to the finale of Sarva 2022. Hope you all had a great time here, and we certainly hope you had made some worthwhile connections while working together. We are awed to see the level of determination, talent, and teamwork you all have brought forth to Sarva, and we are delighted that you all are here. Cheers to all of you. So now we bring you the panel of the most respected, noteworthy, and learned professionals in the industry at the moment. I begin by introducing Mr. Samir Bhivandi, who is the design lead at Google and helps customers' voice reach various product teams in effective manner. His last stint was Scriptbox, where he built and led the design team to simplify investments and wealth management for the Indian customer. Previously, he also worked with Blue Jeans Network and HP as the leadership role, and at Oracle and Cisco as a designer. He's involved in local design community in India and also enjoys conversations with designers, product folks, and fintech enthusiasts. Welcome for the second time to Sarva, Samir. So moving on, I would like to introduce Ms. Malvika Patel, the Experience Design Director at Turtle. Malvika was the UX strategist at Fractal Inc. Design Studio, specializing in omnichannel strategies and persuasive design direction from user experience. She completed her master's in visual design communication from IIT Bombay. She has an eye for detail and has both excellent analytical and critical skills. Welcome, Malvika. Now I would like to request Shivam to introduce the other two panelists.
Yeah, thank you, Krishna. So next we have Mr. Vimal Sharma, Senior Director Design Salesforce, a seasoned design leader whose work is guided by a strong belief in design as a problem-solving tool, as a way of permeating the vision to reality and connecting experiences with people. He has led teams to deliver consistently on business values, innovations, and experiences. After building multidisciplinary stellar design teams in Microsoft R&D, HP Labs, SAP Labs, Vimal now heads the Bangalore UX studio for Industries Cloud and Salesforce. Uh, welcome, Vimal. And for our final judge, Mr. Suhas Bendre, Director Cognizant Interactive Cognizant Technology Solutions. With over 2.5 decades of experience working in design and management roles, Suhas holds expertise in user experience design, user-centric design, interaction design, and much more. Since last 22 years, Suhas has been a part of Cognizant, helping them to deliver the best design solutions and services. Very welcome, Suhas. Over to you, Krishna. Okay, seems like Krishna is facing some network issues. Okay, then let's move on to the statement. So, as you all know, the theme for this year's survey is designing for the future, creating a better India. Judges, please note we have kept the problem statement open for all the teams are free to choose an exciting existing problem to India and work on providing agreeable solutions. Now, moving on to the event we'll have been waiting for, I would like to request, yeah, so we'll move on to the pitch wars. So congratulations everyone for making it to the top 10s. Your design solutions were really astonishing. And no matter who makes it in the finals, you all are winners and be proud of yourselves. I'll go through the rules once again. So the teams will have 5 minutes to pitch and extra 2 minutes for Q&A from the judges. Going beyond 5 minutes in pitching will lead you to your mics getting muted. You can use these 5 minutes to walk the judges through your deck and your prototype or both. Please make sure that your Wi-Fi is steady and avoid any technical issues. It is not compulsory for all members to pitch, but it is mandatory to be available in the chat. And you can also take 30 seconds of your time to introduce yourself, and not more than that. So I'd like to invite our first teams. First team is Arkham Knights. Can you please switch on your cameras and share your screen?
Yeah. Hello,
Is the
folks.
whole team here?
Yeah.
Okay.
Hello, am I audible? Hello?
Yeah, Rucha,
Yes,
you're
yes.
audible. Please go
Okay.
ahead.
Yeah. So hi, our team name is Arkham Knights. Me and Shubhankar, we work as associate UX designers at Codetas, and we are architects by profession. So we have transitioned our career from architecture to UX this year itself. So yeah, I think that's about it. Shubhankar, do you want to add anything?
I think, Rucha, you should get started with your presentation.
Welcome, teams. All the best to all of you.
Thank you so much.
All the best, Rucha and team.
Thank you, guys. Shall I share my screen? Sorry, my internet connection got disconnected. So this is Shubhankar. I am also an associate UX designer, and I will just get started with my presentation. Is my screen visible?
Not yet.
Not yet.
Okay. Just a second. Rucha, is it possible for you to share the screen?
Yeah, sure, I'll do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, we are able to see.
Yeah, sure. So the problem statement which we went away, we scanned a couple of problems, we listed on a couple of problems, but out of those, we came across this interesting problem of the current situation of scarcity amongst the blood donation aspects with related to but the blood donation aspect. So we have purposely named this named the case study as 14.06. I will explain the importance of that in the upcoming slides. So since we have just 5 minutes, I will just run through the whole deck. So to understand the abstract, the brief better, we jotted on the important points amongst the abstract, and we highlighted the ones which we found the brief in connection with the actual problem statement. So we just highlighted the main elements amongst the brief as well as the abstract. We jotted on some main elements, and we focused on those aspects which helped us relate to the brief as well as the problem statement. Yeah, so this is the process which we followed for the carrying out the whole process of designing and going through this handling this problem statement. And to address the first point about the title of our case study is that 14 June, which is 14.06, is considered as a World Blood Donor Day. So it is basically observed to raise awareness about the urgent blood donation situations, and to appreciate the blood donors. Yeah. So currently, the problem statement we narrowed down was to there's extreme shortage with respect to the blood donation situation, because I've just mentioned some basic infographics below that the supply demand ratio is almost half. The importance and urgency of the situation with respect to the blood donation is very critical in current times as well, and it's a very it's a topic which is often neglected by everyone, but everyone is alarmed by that only when they are made a part of the situation.
Can you share what is the source of this data that you're quoting here?
Actually, we have mentioned the source just below the second infographic in the second third slide. I will highlight that as well.
No worries.
Yeah. So we narrow down our target audience by demography as well as ethnography. So even in ethnography, we sorted it as per the medical ethnography, as it is a healthcare domain. So for the demography, we as the blood donation is an issue which is prevalent across rural as well as urban demographics. So with respect to the urban demographic, the demand is always demand supply gap is always available and prevalent. As I said, the supply is almost half compared to the current demand. And with respect to the urban donors, there are high number of blood banks available, but the availability of blood donors with respect to per user or the supply available is very low. And with respect to the rural donors, there are lower blood banks available, but the availability of users or donors might be an issue. And we also jotted down some key elements which are required for people who are supposed to take part in a blood donation drive. So the person must be within the age group, as well as the medical history should be as clean as possible. They should not be doing any kinds of drugs or anything. And these are the 12 grams should be milligrams should be the percentage of their hemoglobin levels, and so on. We started with basically story pointing and gathering some hypothetical situations by creating user stories. So as you can see in the first illustration, there is a guy called Ramesh. He has met with an accident, and we have tried to jot down his journey with respect to blood donation and how we experienced and how we gathered the pain points, how we went through the journey. So basically, he had a friend with him. They both met with an accident, and he was unable to get the blood type which was necessary for his friend, who was severely injured. So this is the one of a story. Rucha, you can go on the next slide.
You have 1 minute left.
Yeah. Rucha, can you just scroll to the next slide? Just go past the 4 user stories. Yeah, we just jotted on 4 user stories, and after that we scanned to the existing platforms. We found out what was the pain points with respect to those current applications which are possible, which are available. We found the gap that with respect to environmental, structural, as well as human factors. That that gap was addressed by creating a solution which was go on. We found the gap, and we presented some possible solutions to the pain points, like integrating the whatever the system had flaws. We had provided a solution which would be taken help with the help of technology. We prepared an MVP which had requirements of feature like a feature requirement document, and we jotted down some goals and feature lists as well. We prepared some user flows for the hypothetical case or the hypothetical users, and how would they be going as they use the product. And we also created some edge cases as to what kind of people will not be part of this, would not make a good like your target user for this specific application or specific platform. And also for future purpose, we had mentioned some metrics to track the KPIs, like user retention and whatever the metrics we can use to keep the revenue or the even the user retention or user engagement as possible, as fast as possible, or as wide as possible. We also went to the basic like ideation stage, we prepared some low fidelity wireframes. We had done some freehand sketches as well, and we came up with some basic layouts of the screens. So yeah, to sum it up, this was the presentation deck we had prepared.
So what do you do? This is open for question and answers now, right? You're done with the presentation.
Yeah, am I over the time or do I have some time?
Yes, the time's up.
Okay.
Time. Okay. So what does this app really help in finding the donor and the recipient?
So the thing is, the current problem is mainly of supply and demand. So what we thought of, like currently, whatever blood banks are available in local areas, we thought of providing a platform which would basically nullify this whole gap in the system. Like exactly how we.
Got it. How about blockchain? How did you connect the blockchain technology with this solution problem statement that you identified?
Yeah, so currently the data which is available on all the existing apps is only shown on one end, because we only get the information like the name of the address or name of the hospital or address of the hospital. We don't know if the data is presented, is it credit, what's the credibility of that data. So when we are presenting this data on the blockchain, everyone would be rest assured that the data which is presented will be of 100% quality, or that it will be always updated. There won't be any the transparency would be 100% in the data. Hence the blockchain integration we have thought of taking it up.
What type of faces will be captured in blockchain?
Sorry, I couldn't hear you. What type of
information will be captured in blockchain to ensure that the authenticity is there for the data?
Yeah. So the blockchain would the kind of data which should be available is the number of blood types which are available, even the blood components, and what's the current status and number of the inventory they have on the maximum updated possible date, so that whenever there is an emergency, the hospitals sometimes are also reported that they're using this power they have in a wrong way. They will always oversell, they will charge customers more, especially in times of emergency. So all these situations could be like eradicated with the help of blockchain, so that even the customers as well as the users can go and check what's the current status and if they're lying or not. So it's like basically to prevent the malpractice which is happening.
Okay, thank you.
Shubhas, one question. How are you taking care of the discovery of this application? And why an application in the first place? Because as per your scenario, it's during the emergency, you will come across such scenario where you need to have the blood. Who will tell them about the app? And they won't have the app installed in their devices, right? That's the last place I'll look for that.
Right. So how we began this by while we were searching for the problem statement, number of people like there is minimum voluntary action from the donor's point of view. People are very reluctant or hesitant towards going and doing the blood donation only without expecting anything. There are very few people who voluntarily go and donate blood. So in this case, what we have done is we have treated this platform as a how we open a fixed account in a bank. So if I'm going at a nearest registered blood bank which is registered with our platform, I will go and at cell I will donate blood. In return, I will get some incentive, which is unlike any certificate that I get when I participate in a blood drive. I will get an incentive which is basically a coupon code, and that we have integrated in our app because we are trying to bring the revenue from the collaborator brands. So when I go in, I will get an incentive, and that specific information will be stored that I have donated blood in this specific blood bank once. Even if down the line 4 months or 5 months I travel to another city wherein the current branch of that blood bank won't be available, but since my app is a centralized system which would be available throughout the nation, the blood banks in the another city would also be part of this. So I can go in that blood bank and also avail the same like when I donated the first blood sample, I will be able to avail that benefit which I was awarded in a different city, which is the current problem with.
Can I just interrupt for a bit? I think I agree with the question that why an app though? Everything that you said
Mhm.
does not need to be an app, especially because
Right,
people
right,
don't tend to keep an app on their phone.
right.
मतलब ऑलरेडी इतने सारे ऐप है, मैं एक और ऐप क्यों रखूं? और ये तो ऐसा कोई ऐप है नहीं कि मैं रोज यूज करूंगा.
Right, right.
मेरा it's not unlike actual bank app where you actually need to keep track of your money.
Right.
Therefore, you need it on your phone. A
Yeah.
blood bank app, why would I have it on my device?
Yeah. So just to keep customers engaging and keep coming back to this application, what we have done, when I once go and donate a blood, I will get a coupon code, which would be depending upon where I live. If I'm living in a metro city, I would go get a coupon code, which is something I can use in my vicinity. So that's the reason why I will have the app, and a healthy adult is able to do the blood donation in a matter of basically 60 days. So even if the range is 60 days, we have kept it as 3 months. So after every 3 months, we will send a reminder to the respective owner of this app that it's been 3 months. Do you want to supply or donate your blood? And after each regular donation, the rewards ratio or the coupon code ratio would also have a bonus point to it. So I would be naturally inclined to donate blood on a regular basis. What this will do is it will also increase the inventory or the stock supply. It will help in diminishing the supply and demand gap, as well as it will help users to keep coming back to the app, and also help in the revenue metrics of the app.
So what I understand, mainly it's helping on the supply side, right? Where you are trying to bridge the gap. But what are your thoughts on the actual crisis time, right? The situation when there is someone and he doesn't have the app, then how does your system tackle that part?
So the application is basically when we are onboarding users, we are taking their personal details. So if in case of an accident, that person is unable to use
That person is not in your system.
Yeah. If that person is okay, that person is not in my system, then I can go. We have also made a user story point number 4, wherein that girl is basically one of her family member is admitted to hospital, and in that case she would require blood, and that's the reason she can reveal those. Basically, if you can see on the screen on the left side, there is number 09. So that basically depicts that she has 9 number of blood pouches on her credit. Basically, she can redeem 9 blood pouches. So in a case wherein a family member of hers is admitted in the hospital, she can reveal those points.
Okay, so the person has to be in your system, you're saying?
Yeah. For him or her to use this service, he has to be a part of a app, or she has to be part of our
Understood.
Yep.
Just a suggestion for you to work on this part whenever you get time, right? Extend
Sure.
this part from just a entity level to say a system level. Think of
Sure.
it like hospitals and these clinics can be the user for your app.
Yeah.
So there is the consumer side and there is the enterprise side, right? So think from that side also.
Sure.
Thank you.
Sure.
Thank you, guys.
Yep.
I don't know what the other jury members feel, but I think we should kind of create a format for the presentation. Personally, I would like you to walk me through the user stories. Now, in our case, right now, we've kind of skipped through them. I'm sure we'll get the decks later for our reference.
Sure.
But for us to be able to, make a better judgment, I think the user stories and then the design solution will slightly help us get a better context. What do the other jury members think of it?
Yeah, I agree with that. I mean, I felt like maybe spend a little less time on widely known problems, spend more time and a little less time maybe on process also, spend more time on your solution.
Okay.
So that's the part that we really...
Yeah, the story and the solution, how your problem solves, how you're solving the problem through your solution.
Okay.
Sure. So can I just walk you again from that point of view, or?
Maybe I think we should let the next team take over, maybe catch up with you later.
Sure. Yeah, sure.
Okay.
That's what we get.
Thank you.
Thanks.
All the judges, let me know when you are ready so that I can call the next team.
I think we can call the next team.
Okay. Design stars. Are you here?
Yeah, we are here.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. You can share your screen.
Sure. Asha, would you like to carry on?
Yeah, I would like to carry on. Good afternoon, judges. Thanks for giving us the opportunity to present our creative and innovative idea in front of you. So what we have done is we have made Career Path 2.0. On the behalf of my team, Designsters, I'll be explaining you our solution. So let's start with a story. There was one girl named Susa. So in her 8th and 9th, everyone asked her to say that everyone asked her that you should study for IIT, you should study for IIT. She was not aware of what does this mean, but seeing other people's opinion, she took science and maths in her 11th and 12th. She went to Kota, she studied PCM in her 11th and 12th. Then again, based on her marks, everyone asked her to take electronics and communication. She went with the flow of that everyone and she took electronics and communication. After 4 years of her engineering, she realized that this is not the thing for me. I should do something creative work, something designy work. So at that point in time, she was in regret that why I wasted so much time of my life in just studying what everyone has said and not doing what I want. There is one more user story that we kept in mind. Our mentor, Nilesh, he has shared his story with us. So it was like he had pursued BFA. When he started his BFA, his parents were not telling anywhere what their child is doing because they were not able to understand what their child is doing. For so long, they kept hiding this thing, what their child is doing. Once our mentor had started, earning good, then only his parents tell that yes, our child is earning this much. Till now, they also don't know that what their child is doing. So this is how we network with our mentor as well. And if I'll ask in the audience, if I'll ask this question that how many of you have faced the problem because of Indian education system? I can bet that everyone in their heart would be having a yes, that yes, I have faced this problem. So what are the few problems we face? Students do not have enough information about available career options for them and end up following common career paths like engineers, doctors, CA, going by everyone's advice, following the rat race. When they realize that they could have chosen a different career, it's either too late for them or they do not have enough confidence in them. Now, this is not just a small problem. It leads to various other problems. It leads to various other problems as well, like unemployment, no job satisfaction, depression in students, underpaid professions. So we did 5 why analysis and tried to figure out why even this is a problem. So first reason we figured it out was that one size does not fit all. Career paths follow the same thing. Every student is different and has different needs. Secondly, teachers who teach them did not have industry experience of every field. Thirdly, information available online is not reliable. Fourthly, it's difficult to understand what a professional's day-to-day job looks like just by reading. So what we did, what solution we have formed, that's very interesting. So we will describe that. We formulated a virtual world where a student can experience a day in life of any profession and can understand that job better. So he'll not be wasting wasting the precious time of his life in just following the rat race. He can talk to real professionals and get advice related to their career. The real professionals will be fetching the data on the platform, and an AI model is trained that on the real database, it can provide the suggestions. Then fourthly, a personalized career path along with all the possible alternate options they can go at various stages of their career. Change the slide. Now, this is the core part of it, how it works. First of all, we will be asking the participants asking the users, the students, a single question: in which class you are studying right now? Because this we know that in our Indian education system, we have to make major decision in class 10, 12, and just after college. Now, this is the core and hard part of our website, that we will gamify this experience. For example, if a student lands in, out of so many fields present in 10th class, he can choose one out of them. Then out of so many fields present in 12th class, he'll again choose one out of them. Then he'll be getting a profile that you have chosen this thing, now you can become this thing. So in every dashboard related information around that field, so that child can get to know that, oh my god, these so many opportunities are available to me. So at the end, he'll be seeing the dashboard of what he has chosen and what he is getting as a field. Now on that field, he can talk to industry professionals around it. He can experience a day-to-day life of that professional. Then, apart from this gamifying experience, we have decided to go above and beyond, and we decided that a personally suggested career path will be generated, which can be modified. And this, we have figured it out. This gamifying experience will engage our customers, our students, I will not say customers, our students. So just like people explore their Instagram, Facebook, they can explore this platform as well, where they can find the predicted and current career trends. Next slide.
Just a heads up, you are over your time.
Okay, that's all from my end. Thanks a lot. Any questions, judges?
Is it possible to go to the solution slide immediately?
Sure. One second.
You're not in touch the half of the slides. Yeah.
No, so these are just the process slides, that how did we
Okay,
come up with the
no.
solutions. And this is our prototype of the product. We just a disclaimer that we don't have any experience in designing for a virtual world. So we just tried our UI abilities to make something to present here.
Okay.
Okay. Shed, would you like to present?
Yeah, sure. So as described, our solution will be a virtual world. So in this world, first question which is asked to the user is that in which class you are. There are three options: below 10th or in 10th, in 11th or 12th, or in college. Next. Then let's suppose that student had selected below 10th or in 10th. Then he'll be provided, next slide. Then he'll be provided all these options. Like you want to do 11th and 12th, you want to do some creative courses, you want to do some paramedical courses. So it's like playing around the thing, what all things I can select and to which field I'll land. So
Okay,
let's suppose
quick question. How does one make a decision? This is again the same thing as, we already know itne sare options hai hamare paas. But are you helping in any manner for them to come to a decision? Maybe,
Yes. So
what
we
is
are trying to,
or what is a high paying job, or this one is for creative people or something of that sort.
yes, ma'am.
yes.
Yeah, Tanusha, you go ahead.
So we have tried to gamify it, like where the student can just, click random options and just explore. Okay. When he lands on a particular job profile, like a professional profile, he can just explore. Okay, this is the career trend for this particular job. There are the opportunities available. This is the median salary that they get, or everything related to that.
Ma'am, to add on,
Because right now, I'll just tell you one, I'm sorry to interrupt, but as again, an 8th or 9th standard student who is thinking about what they're going to do after the 10th, this looks very overwhelming.
Okay.
मतलब ये वही है कि जो एजुकेशन वेबसाइट्स पे मुझे दिखता है, तो उसमें मतलब मैं वहां भी कंफ्यूज हूँ, मैं यहाँ भी कंफ्यूज हूँ.
Yes. So Tanusha, go to the dashboard slide. 1 second. Yeah. So ma'am, to add on to this thing, after the child has selected the options, he'll be shown one dashboard type structure in which he'll be shown like what is the pay scale, what is the career path look like, what is day to day in the life of that person. So this data will help that student to make a better decision whether I want to go with this career path or not. So this is what we have planned for making an informed decision.
How will you get the day-to-day, day in the life of so many professionals? What is the source?
So we are like not 100% sure what metaverse works like or something, but we are thinking if we can create a virtual world where an industry profession can enroll themselves and would like to like there are many websites that industry professionals use to guide students, right? Like ADP list if I name some. So they can enroll in this virtual world and they can help the students in observing their daily job in easy to understand terms that can be easily understood by like 8th, 9th class student.
So why does it have to be a virtual world? I mean, could you not do this on a regular site?
Because like if someone is in Bangalore and I'm an 8th class student, my parents won't just allow me to go to just experience a profession to Bangalore. So that's why.
Yeah, Sami, to add on to this, we are having this wonderful technology of metaverse where people can experience the real world out there. So why to like give them this boring experience of just reading and reading and reading? Why not let them go out in the world and feel the things? So that's why we decided for a virtual world in metaverse.
Any other questions or feedbacks?
Okay. So honestly, I'm not very familiar with metaverse. Okay. I have a very high level idea, but would you be able to, kind of tell me more in detail on how this virtual world is more exciting? Exactly what does meta world do?
Yeah, so in simpler terms, metaverse is a interconnection of different virtual worlds. Okay, so you can create your own virtual world, and people can go from one virtual world to another. It's like there's a consultancy company, career consultancy company. That is our virtual world that we are organizing. Whatever you're seeing is our career consultancy company in a virtual world. So like that.
And all this information and creating this virtual world for every single profession, whose responsibility would that be?
So we didn't work on the technological part or something. We just worked on the ideation thing. So sorry.
It's a kind of a logistics, right? I mean, it's
Yes, I get it.
more of logistics that इतने सारे options है, सारे options के अगर virtual world बनाने हैं तो उतना research करना पड़ेगा. That much amount of worlds you will have to create and keep them updated because careers are constantly changing.
That
a bit of a
makes
challenge.
sense. I get it. Yeah.
Tanusha, Shreya, any thoughts? Is it a paid service and who is paying for it?
Yeah,
about what?
About I got the answer of Malvika ma'am as well. So we can launch it out as a paid service, and then the logistics can run behind it. So obviously,
so who is paying for it? Is the parents or it's the kid?
The kid obviously cannot pay, so the parents will be paying for it. We will be keeping a very nominal price of it because it's like a one-time investment. So we'll be keeping a very low price to it, and obviously parents will be paying.
So if parents are paying, have you thought about the scenario when the parents interface with your service? What questions they have?
No, we haven't.
Parents won't just
that
pay for it, right? Without even understanding what the service is. And more than the kid, parents would have more questions.
I think it's always
Yes,
parents who have more questions.
Definitely. So, according like what I experienced during my childhood was, if I was able to explain my parents that okay, this is the particular job, this is a particular thing that I'm interested in, and if I'm able to convince them, then it's easier for them to understand as well. So, like our first part was to make the students themselves understand, but we can definitely scale this product to parents as well then.
So
in future.
that's a brilliant insight that you have. If the kid knows what he's interested in, he is able to convince. But you have put a friction right at the start of it. To understand what you are interested in, you need to pay that.
Got it.
Got it, sir. Got it. So we will scale the
Work on it,
product around it. Yeah, we will work on it. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you. No
Okay.
question from my side.
Thank you, Design Stars. I think it's a very important question that we are addressing.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you.
Other jury members you can take a minute and evaluate before we move on to the next.
Who's next? Hello.
Hello.
Yep.
And Curious Design team.
Hello.
Yeah.
Fast
Shall
and
we move
Curious.
on to the next team, judges?
Hello. Hi, I'm Prithviraj Singh from Fast and Curious. And my fellow team members, Khushi, Sudhanshu.
Hello, everyone.
Sudhanshu, Khushi, Smita, they are here as well.
Hi, everyone.
Hi, guys.
Hi. So, shall I begin?
Yeah, go
Yes,
ahead.
please. Go ahead.
Okay. So, before coming to my case study, I have one question for all of you. Do you know the disease called PCOS? Has any of you heard of it?
Yes.
Okay. So that was one yes, but a lot might not have. It is a female hygiene problem which creates cysts in ovaries of women, and it is a kind of a disease that gets ignored, and it leads to deaths as well if untreated. So this is a severe problem, and it takes place heavily in the Southeast Asia. So India is a majorly affected by this problem. So we thought, why this problem? We also found one more challenge area, but we came to this one as well. Why? Because one of our friends has faced this problem in their family. She saw 2-3 people got their uterus replaced in her family. So then we thought, why to not look into this? And secondly, this is a problem that goes unaware. 65% of Indian women who are affected with PCOS, they do not know about it.
Prithviraj, do you want to share your screen?
Yes. Now, without further ado, I will share my screen. Yep. So the problem statement is Indian women are not aware of the PCOS, which leads to death if not cured. Why they do not know about this? It is because of lack of awareness, lack of knowledge, lack of awareness towards the symptoms. What are the symptoms? Because these are very common symptoms such as irregular menstrual cycles, excessive weight gain, hair loss, etc. Secondly, this get ignored as well. And then if somebody learns if they have PCOS, they do not know how they can get treated, and if they have these symptoms, so where they can get these checked. So we found that this is a problem area where this is leading to deaths in India. And this is a topic that is considered as taboo because this is related to female hygiene and related to ovaries, so nobody wants to talk about these. So we took that as a challenge, and we followed the common 5-step design thinking process. We have just pasted this image. So our target audience is the people who live in urban cities and not rural cities, because we have found that this problem is more present in urban areas. Why? Because this problem, nobody knows the root cause of this problem, but it happens because of an unhealthy lifestyle and the environment around them. So in rural areas, women are not able to talk these problems with their family, male members, etc. In urban areas, they can, but in urban areas, unhealthy lifestyle is at a very high rate, which is not present in rural areas. And I'm not coming this from a
just hypothetical angle. We have data to back this up. Like we researched on multiple sites. This is one of the links. Almost 80% of PCOS patients are obese and etc. Like one data says 70% of PCOS women remain undiagnosed. 65% of the women who have PCOS, they do not know if we have it or not. And every 1 in 5 Indian women suffer from this disease. So this disease is not curable. Yes, it is not curable, but it can be controlled. And it starts happening at the age of 12, 13, where girl is very immature and she might not know what is happening with her body. So she is hesitant to talk to their family members and others. So like I said, these are some of the common problems: cramping, irregular menstruation, heavy bleeding, infertility, etc. Yes, it can lead to infertility. So we thought that, are we the only ones who are looking into this problem? No, there are 2 other companies as well, Vera and UV, but their main concern is to treat these. They are not removing the awareness. No, they are not making everyone aware, while we want to make people aware. So yeah. So for to make our research concrete, we did some telephonic interviews. We found some friends during this 48-hour time. We found some friends who faced these problems, and we were surprised to know our friends were facing this problem. They had been getting treatments for like 10 years, 12 years. And we learned that the symptoms were very common, and they ignored these initially. They did not know the term. And when they went to gynae, they were learned that this is a severe problem. It can never be cured. And they felt overwhelmed and confused, stressed, and it led to overthinking and anxiety, depression, because then they thought we might get died, because it can lead to cancer as well. While this thing can be easily solved if you reduce your weight. But these girls do overthinking, and they found a lot of misleading information on internet as well. So we did a lot around interviews of 5 to 6 girls, and we found that this problem was very common, and nobody knew about it, and they were also hesitant to talk. So only one woman was able to talk with her friends. So generally they do not talk to others. They take medication when they learned it, but they try to skip a longer, healthier life cycle. It asks you to take healthier life cycles for like 12 months, 3 year, 4 year, but it's very difficult. So in urban cities, people skip it, and it leads to other diseases, non-curable diseases. So
there is 1 minute left.
Oh, only 1 minute. Okay, so if our primary user, which we will be focusing on, is the student who is studying in school, and she doesn't know what is this problem, and she is facing it for the first time. And like I said, we are not going ahead with the secondary user, because these are the people who face it first, and secondary user are the people who have been facing it for some time and getting treatment. This is customer journey, but like I said, I have to skip it because I've already told about this. So we thought of a lot of solutions, and we just did not think of creating an app and that can create a awareness program, because why would somebody download an app for PCOS? You do not know PCOS. Why would you download an app? The gray area is lack of awareness. So first thing that can be done, one of the things that can be done is creating awareness via online channels and offline channels both. So for the online part, we created thought of an application that because first thing, we are focusing on urban areas. So there are tier 1, tier 2 cities. These girls would have smartphones, and at least their family parents would have smartphones. So we want to create an app that can be trusted as a friend, as well as that can provide them everything clarity instead of misleading information. And I'm just concluding it. So, and on the offline channel, we thought schools would be the best place to educate people, because we can run a teacher training program where teachers can tell students, and they can take care of what is going with these girls, and they can make them provoke to speak more about it. There can be other short acts and experience sessions, seminars, etc. So we will run both online and offline channels together. This app will be provided to students or will be available on public stores, so not only to students. And a kiosk will be installed in schools, so the students who do not have access to apps and who are not open to teachers, they can also access the same functionality but on a kiosk in schools. We created a prototype of that app as well, like where it would be a chat-based interface where they can ask questions via voice and they can type it as well. It would be intelligent bot where it will ask some questions and on the basis of your symptoms, and it can suggest best exercises, or it can inform your parents as well on the basis of they would have numbers from your parent, from your school, etc. So yeah, these are some of the skills that we were able to create in this particular time frame. And yeah, so this is our whole angle towards the problem, not just an online app, but the entire system towards it. Yeah, thank you.
Okay, quick question. From what I'm seeing, your solution is a chatbot, but chatbot is more of a reactive kind of a solution. Is there a proactive solution that you have? I mean, or a proactive angle to your solution? Because chatbot को जब तक तुम पूछोगे नहीं, वो तुमको कुछ बताएगा नहीं.
So my chatbot, first of all, will nudge people, will ask them, what are you facing today? And why would anyone have come to this application? Because उनको ये पता होगा कि ये application मेरे को इस बीमारी से या इस तरह की फीमेल हाइजीन की बातें करने में मुझे सलाह देगी. Like I know Google Assistant से आज मैं कुछ पूछूंगा तो मुझे वेदर की इंफॉर्मेशन देगी. Similarly, that ये मुझे देगा, बट ये इंफॉर्मेशन मुझे एडवर्टीजमेंट्स, स्कूल्स में प्रमोशन से इनसे पता चलेगी. So my app will ask me, what are you facing today? What kind of help do you want from me? And then there would be some suggested things. So अगर किसी के दिमाग में कुछ नहीं आ रहा है, they can take from the automated responses. But this is not just the application, the whole angle of awareness via certain channels.
Okay, because so one of the important things about because of, for that matter, any menstrual problem is tracking the cycle, right? Are you kind of collecting the data of that person to understand, what was the date of your last period? When did you, and if you're approaching that date, and does it nudge you to kind of, ask, have your period started? Or if it is delayed, then it maybe asks you again after 2 days, have your period started again? Those kind of proactive things. If it keeps asking you and then it tells you that, okay, now you're late and maybe it's a cause for concern, maybe you need to check with your gynac.
Yes.
So
yes.
If you have addressed any of those,
I was not able to create screens around that because of, like I said, the time constraint. But that is in the picture because the app, it is even we have named it Sakhi. If you can see it over here, it will act as a friend. It will ask them, oh, did you miss it? क्या रहा आज का, like इस month का, and if they miss it, then if कुछ हफ्तों तक या कुछ महीनों तक if these girls miss it, then वो app आगे से ही इनको recommend करेगी, oh, you might be having some problem, आप इसको दिखाओ, we have some suggested doctors, or whatever the exact process that follows in this particular gynecologics domain.
Okay.
One little
sorry, go on, Suhas.
No, go ahead. Close it. Complete your sentence.
So, yeah, what I was saying is that because one of the reasons is weight gain and maybe less intake of water, less exercise. Okay, so it has the potential to become a very proactive app. So chatbot, while being one solution to it.
Sorry, I missed what you said. Very proactive what?
A very proactive app. Because it has, like you said, one of the key reasons is weight gain. And to keep your weight in control along with tracking your cycle, I think it's important to, have certain reminders about maybe sleeping on time or tracking your calories, maintaining a food blog, or reminders for exercise.
Yes.
All those kind of things, maybe you can, it has the potential of becoming a very good app, but it needs to be seen as a more proactive one because एक point के बाद लोगों को पता चलता है कि हाँ मुझे PCOS है, पर अब मैं क्या करूँ?
Right. Exactly. Exactly. That is the problem.
अब मैं क्या करूँ? हर बार app को कोई पूछता नहीं, but the way you send your notifications out, maybe, or maybe you set reminders within the app, that can be that's a huge potential for nudging people into actual action rather than overthinking about things.
Absolutely, absolutely. Even that was in our notes as well, but due to less lack of time, we were not able to articulate everything in our screens.
Fair enough. Suhas, you were saying something.
Yeah. Okay, so little out of the, when you say this is online, offline, what thought process you have to create awareness? What type of partnerships you are thinking about? Where can you? Yeah.
First of all, this. I'm not thinking it of as a business idea. Why not? Because even we all from this team, we all want to solve a problem. We all wanted to work for a social cause. एक बार कुछ तो इंडिया के लिए किया जाए. ठीक है, we have been we work in industry, लेकिन कुछ देश के लिए किया जाए. This was the feeling, and this is problem that is leading to death. So there is no currently business angle associated. And if you are asking about how we will keep this engine running, like system running, we can.
No, not about the business. I'm talking about creating awareness about this problem. Education.
Okay, maybe I misheard it. Okay, so about the awareness, we would collaborate with schools. We would provide a teacher training program where जहाँ पे teachers को समझाया जाएगा why this is important to be talked about.
Okay, next, what else?
So there
Teachers,
can
schools, what else?
So there would be seminars by ऐसे लोग जिनको पहले पास में हो चुका है. ठीक है, ऐसे कम्युनिटी के लोगों से मिलवाना, क्योंकि जब आप किसी को फील करते हो अच्छा इसको तो मेरी वाली प्रॉब्लम है, तो आप उससे जानने की कोशिश करते हो. तो ऐसे लोगों के सेमिनार्स या फिर कम्युनिटी इवेंट्स, फोरम्स ऐसे हो सकते हैं. देन देयर कैन बी नुक्कड़ नाटक, ऐसे शब्दों पे जैसे हमारे सैनिटरी पैड्स, कॉन्डम्स और इन पीरियड पे बात करते हैं.
Okay, I got it. If you're a trigger, you definitely can come up with those ideas. Okay, thank you. Good one.
Thank you. Are we done, or anybody have any other questions?
No question, just a comment.
Yeah.
So when you're trying to solve a problem, right, don't get too attached to the problem that you are talking about it like a man on the cause. You have to do this certain things, right? You have to remove that subjectivity aside and try to solve for a problem that you are doing, right? Like you have mentioned, even Malvika suggested that it can be a proactive app. You have named it Sakhi. There are enough problems in this world which can be clubbed into this app, right?
Yes.
Not just the PCOS, but any of those things that like female hygiene. There are many things that people don't talk about it.
Yes.
Right? Social stigma and all, many things can be brought into it, but the whole presentation, you were so passionately talking about a problem. At the end, I still don't understand the problem or the cause or the fixation, but I found that you are trying to do certain things, but the app itself has a lot of potential. Just a suggestion for you guys.
No, we agree on that part. Not to take much of your time, but हमने ये सोचा था कि we can open it to multiple things and even not limited to cities and stuff. We can go rural as well, और वहाँ पे भी और अलग तरह की problems है, उस पे भी तो educate कर सकते हैं, क्योंकि education नहीं होना ही बहुत बड़ी problem है इंडिया में, awareness नहीं होना. But for this case study, we are focusing on this only. Yeah.
One question: did you speak to? I mean, I know you spoke about a couple of researchers, but how many girls of this age did you talk to?
How many girls? We talked 6 girls.
Okay. So one of the things that I'm seeing that you could add to this is really in the model of communication for someone of that age, the kind of things that they are influenced by, the kind of things that they want to look at, and go with that, even like in terms of the language, the kind of graphics, the visuals that you have, the kind of topic references. This is very generic, right? I mean, like everyone's saying, there is a lot of potential, but you can align it to the language that someone of that age understands, right? The cultural references that are that they understand, right? Versus being very generic.
So, for example, I mean, the potential for having, like Insta stories, maybe featured stories or things that girls can, maybe it can be a more communicative app as well. It doesn't have to be just a one-way thing. Maybe it can be a networking app, maybe it can be a helping board. So it has tremendous potential. You need to explore this more deeply.
Got it. Thank you for your valuable feedback. I'll have a look, definitely.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Judges, should I move on to the next one?
Yeah.
Okay, next is Team Infinite.
Yes, I'll share my screen. This is Shailendra here. Is my screen visible? Can you see this presentation?
Yes.
Yes, we
Yes.
can.
So I'll introduce myself. My name is Shailendra Rama. I have completed my MCA this year, and I was working with Infosys BPM, managing small businesses, small part of businesses of big companies there. And after that, I thought of completing my MCA, and after that, I completed an internship with Podita Solution LLP last quarter and learned a lot of things about design industry there. So that was my story. And talking about the application that we have designed is Swayam. This Swayam application will help in reducing unemployment for blue collar workers in India. And the team that worked on this is me, myself, Vibha, Venu, and Niharika. We were the team of 4 people who brainstorm for 2 whole days and then come up with some ideas for the application. And talking about the problem scenario, the increased rate of unemployment in blue collar India is high. Talking about in 2020 in pandemic, 25.3 million people lost jobs in India. Like 2.5 million in February, and starting from that in March 0.1 million, in April 7.4 million, and in May the number hit like 15.3 millions. So the main problem the blue collar workers are facing is not earning a proper money and having a proper livelihood. So that was the problem we are trying to tackle right now. And how this unemployment crisis in India started is because of the large population. Like India has crossed like 130 crore population with the GDP rate, like the per capita income to only $6,000, and also the education level is very low when it comes to blue collar workers. And also not only blue collar workers. When you talk about unemployment, about 2 million graduates and 500,000 postgraduates are still unemployed in India because of the iteration rate going down after the pre-pandemic and also in pandemic. And the third reason was the low employment skills. Around 47% of graduates in India are not suitable for any kind of job rates. So these are the main crises in the job employment area. But we were tackling only for the blue collar one because they are not getting the proper platform where they can go and approach to other people for work. So, and when we talk about the other like white collar people or anyone like us, we have like different platforms like LinkedIn, Naukri.com, or any other platform where we can go create a dynamic profile and like start applying to jobs. So the blue collar workers were facing this problem, so we tried to solve it. So what talking about the cause, the skills mismatch, not getting job opportunities, and 38% of urban youth face the problem of landing a suitable job in the area they want. And when we talk about women in society, only 19% of educated women in India are working and contributing to GDP of India. And maybe there are many like reasons for that. Maybe the responsibility of their family or the pregnancy or the maternity gap they go through in their life. So because of that, they are not able to actively contribute to it, and that's the reason of unemployment. And talking about the users of our platform, the main user is the blue collar workers who can onboard themselves on the application and then maybe start applying jobs. And the second one are from references. Like if I am a blue collar worker and I have onboarded myself on the application, I can refer the other person to get on the application and maybe earn some little amount of commission from that. And third person will be the recruiters or the employers like us. If I want to get my fan repaired, maybe I can go on that particular application and hire that particular person to do that work. And talking about the final concept, the whole application revolves around the idea of employability. So the first idea was to find workers that fit the particular job. Like if anyone wants to get a job done, they can get the worker, the skilled trained worker from the particular application. And also that worker can apply to a job that matches their skill set, and on the completion of their job, they can earn money and also increase their rating on the platform. So talking about Swayam, I would like to walk you through the what we call prototype. Can I do that? So you will get a close idea about the application. So this is the application that we have designed, this Swayam. This core score consists of like two things. Main are their job ratings they receive from the employers and the number of jobs they have completed. So right now, I like for it just a demo purpose, we have to put the 34 points based on the jobs and the ratings. And
Wait, I'm a little confused here. This is for blue collar workers, you said, right?
yes.
How are you going to obtain these ratings from?
So like whenever a person will hire a blue collar worker, they after and they complete the job in a proper manner, we as an employer are supposed to give them rating there. Like yeah, their work are good, so maybe rating out of 5 stars, or they will get 3 or 4, maybe 5, depending on the job done properly.
Which is okay when you have started using that, but when you're using it for the first time,
right?
Zero state kya hoga?
Zero state will be zero. It is just the demo purpose. Like we have like had this person like Ramesh. So like with the hypothetical situation, we have put the point to 34 points. And the jobs like they can get through the location. Here is the location setup. So after like they set that they can set the nearest location or the location they are in, and they can like search for the jobs there. And
have you considered language as well? I mean, I'm seeing
what?
everything English. Local language, regional language. Have you considered that as a?
Yeah, we have considered that, but we didn't
toggle somewhere.
Time to like do it in each, do like complete the prototype in each and every regional language. So we kept it 2 in English and also.
No, not a prototype. I was just wondering if you have a switch or a toggle.
Yeah, like we can like we have thought of giving a toggle for that.
Like where would that be?
That can be on in the language panel, maybe in the settings panel.
Okay.
Where they can change the language of the application to their native language, maybe.
You are over your time.
Okay, like I am like open for the like my presentation is done. That was the only 5 slides I wanted to explain, and now I am like going through the prototype. Can I?
Yeah, sure. Can you
quickly move
judges through the prototype?
Yeah, I'll walk through. So this is the homepage where they can see the nearest job they have, and also they can search from here. Like if they want to, like if I'm a maid and I can search for the maid jobs there and apply there, and also I can get to know like get to know more details about the job, like what kind of job description they have, how far it is, what kind of shift they need, and all that. And also with the chat feature, they can able to chat with the employer, like what are their requirements. And also this chat feature will help if I have hired a particular person for a particular work and I like their work. So maybe next time I will not like approach the different person. I can text the person from here, like this is the problem I need to solve, and can you solve this? So this chat feature and the messaging feature will help in that particular way. And this is the section where they can see the active jobs near their location. Like on the homepage, they can see jobs across, but in the jobs panel, they can see the active jobs near to their location or the location they have worked before. And the completed jobs will show how many jobs they have completed till now, something like that. And this is the profile page where they can see all the things related to their profile, FAQs, contact us section, and about us the particular the application and terms and policy of the use. And also we have like a second phase of the application for the hire. If someone is hiring, like I am an employer and I want to hire someone, I can complete the KYC here, and I can like put my Aadhaar card number. So everything will be linked to Aadhaar card, so that Aadhaar card will work as their resume here, like what kind of ratings they have, they can all get it attached to their Aadhaar card. So the next time anyone like search for their Aadhaar card number on the application, they will get to know about their information. They all will be verified and successfully done. And this will be the like homepage where they can see like the people who have applied for the who are there, they can hire, and the amount of the money they charge for particular hours and the ratings they have received. So but the rest of the interface is the same. So this is the application Swayam, and Swayam in Sanskrit means self. So whole data and all the responsibility related to the data will be in hand of the person who is registering them on the application. So that was the whole idea behind the application.
Okay, my first and topmost kind of observation is that
it is
not doing justice to the primary user group that you're addressing, which is blue collar workers.
Right. Okay.
There is far too much to read. It's looking far more like somebody with at least a basic bachelor's degree would have to look at charts and graphs and ratings and things like that. There are very little visuals.
Mhm.
And you mentioned that you will have a language setting somewhere, but if you're going to put that language setting inside somewhere, when they first land on this website, how are they going to find it? जब हमको English पढ़नी नहीं आती, तो मैं setting कहाँ से ढूंढूंगा?
Like the thing was we kept it, like we can keep it at like when they are like the onboarding, there will be an option for setting their like the language, like what kind of.
Shall I interrupt? Yeah, shall I interrupt?
So I think one of the biggest problem you will have to tackle here is onboarding.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Excuse
that's
me,
the primary problem that you have to tackle. You have to understand the language, you have to understand the education level, or and that you have to do it very visually and very.
Right.
I mean, these are people where expecting them to read things and understand things is difficult. These are people who are happy to use WhatsApp and photographs and click videos of themselves, make video introductions, all those kind of things, which you have to see the popularity of WhatsApp and TikTok.
Right.
To try and understand who is most comfortable with them.
Like when we talk about the emerging technologies, like in the today world, each and every person, like maybe how like uneducated he might be, like basic education. Even if he has a basic education, they have like some knowledge about English, like basic English everyone knows.
That is very presumptions.
Okay, maybe that's like my bad. Like
Excuse me, shall I interrupt? Yeah.
Really sorry if it sounds harsh, but that's very presumptions. They do not have, except for reading numbers and maybe base.
Okay.
And understanding English.
Right. We can like
even for search for that. Are we actually expecting them to type search there? Because I'm not seeing a voice search.
Yes.
And voice abhi ho raha hai. Even Amazon and everybody is focusing on Indian language, Indian accents to enable voice searches.
Like we had
not have that as a technology solution. It's already in the market to an extent.
Okay. Right.
One question: how many blue-collar workers did you talk to?
Like we didn't got that much of time to talk to, but like the ones we had in like our contact, like 1 or 2 people I talked to, like what kind of problem they are facing, and the main problem was they are not getting like most jobs. Like after the pandemic, they are not able to get their regular jobs, and for that we thought like this application can help them. So they are like in the we built this application in 2 days only. Maybe going forward, if I have to like do something like unique in that, I can do it. But for
did you check who else is solving this problem? I mean, this is
we checked like most of the application, but they are way more tech savvy than the application we are providing. Like there are like websites that are providing such a particular product like web application, but not every person like a blue collar one has a computer to go and see these platforms. But when we talk about mobile, smartphone is like pretty much available for everyone. Like 60%, like 6 out of 10 people today is having a smartphone. And I'm talking it with respect to data, like the data I have studied. Like I can show you that as well if you want. Like this is the statistic from set.
That's fine. I mean, I'm aware of the smartphone penetration. That's not the question, right? It is the type of usage. Just because the smartphone is there doesn't mean that is the. I mean, your mockups are an iPhone, but just because it's there doesn't mean it's being used in the way that you would want, right? I mean, I think more than a decade ago, Babajob was a company that tried to solve this kind of problem.
It was there.
Pre-smartphone, right? They were acquired by Quicker a couple of years ago.
Yes.
Who uses it now. But that might be one. There are so many there on Urban Clap, which you're able to use today. Definitely, that is still one level. It is still not like blue collar that you are trying to look at, right? So I would agree with the previous judge as well. Like look at what platforms they are using, what kind of things in terms of interface that they are comfortable with. This looks like that I have a driver and I want that driver to get another job. I can open this and add them and help them out. They may or may not be able to do it themselves. That is where I feel you are right now. Probably, I mean, the intention is good, but definitely look at what would be most useful and usable by your target audience directly.
Okay. I'll make that changes like going forward in the application.
Monk has a question. He's raised his hand.
Okay.
There's a raised hand. Shubhuday, are you saying something?
Yes, I'm saying. Yeah. Hello. Hello, Shailendra, you are audible?
Yeah.
Yes. So my question is, this application will be for only the experienced people. I mean, who worked previously and who got the ratings from their particular companies and they left.
No. It will be for like both, like the freshers as well as the experienced one. But these things will be done only when they have got work from the application, and only then will the rating will be available here.
Okay.
Like you can like not give rating to me,
but I mean, if the person,
and then I will be like applying for a job in maybe Samir sir's company, and I'll use the rating that I got from him. No, I'll need to work for Samir, and then Samir will rate me on that particular thing. That's the idea behind the application.
Okay. I mean, is there any solution, like if the particular person has a good skills in that particular domain to work, but he doesn't have any such ratings? So in that case, is there any solution?
So in that case, like we like the way I have talked about the prototype. So when they have to like register through their Aadhaar card, so the Aadhaar card will become a part the resume for them. So all the ratings, all the like whatever the data today is linked to Aadhaar card. So maybe that rating we can relay. What we can do, we can.
Okay.
We can link that the data to the Aadhaar card, right? That's what I was trying to say.
Okay. Jury members, if you don't have any other questions, we can move on.
I have just one, Shivam. Sorry.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, go ahead.
Not able to understand the screen as such. Who is Virat over here? Welcome, Virat. Who is Virat?
Virat is the employer who is trying to hire a person.
So why it says jobs near you? What is job? Why I need to see jobs near me?
Right. Okay.
You agree or you?
The minor mistake that I can like solve. These are like the typing mistake or the typos that we have done in the 2 days span, and maybe I can like solve this. But the intention was solving the problem, not going into like more aesthetic way, like how my prototype is good or what kind of icons I have used in the application. That is not the point here. I think I am trying to solve the problem with the level of problems India is facing right now. So that was my agenda, and that's it. Like that's
yes, Shailendra. Almost everyone who is participating, everyone's agenda is that.
Right.
We're just trying to understand what you are trying to do. Okay, can you go back to the first screen where you had the points over there?
Which one? Like my presentation or the prototype?
Prototype or presentation, wherever the points are. Yes. So in this also, you are not profiling this particular person, right? Whether he's a cook or he's a painter or he's a mason or he's a driver. Any thoughts over there why you have kept it open at this point?
Like for this score, right?
Who is this Ramesh? If he is a painter, then why you are showing me driver needed and cook needed?
Okay. I don't have an answer for that. I haven't thought about it. So the Ramesh was this name taken like hypothetically, so I have kept it like.
No, is Ramesh a person who's going to hire these skills, or Ramesh is a driver who's looking for a job? We don't know.
He's like a person, like maybe he's a driver, maybe he's a cook, but the jobs here are like all jobs listed on the application are showing here. It's not like personalized for him.
Thanks, Shailendra. Just a data point for you. Before the pandemic, when Uber, Ola were quite popular, many of the cooks, the cleaning staff, many of those transition to drivers. So this app might be very useful if you are trying to do that behavior, but it won't fly in a market fit.
Okay, like we'll need to find a USP for that, but
Thank you.
My idea and my
First thing you'll have to
better
focus on what target group are you actually addressing. I think वो अभी बहुत ही blurred है. एक target group pick करो. Okay, if you want to make it for blue collar workers, then this is how the approach should be for blue collar workers. If you make it for the middle guy, the middleman who's going to help him find a job, then you have to that वो ना अभी थोड़ा lines mix हो गया है. तकलीफ उधर
like justify something. This is particularly for blue collar. It is not for a middleman or anything.
हाँ, तो वो आपको क्लियरली फिर वो ब्लू कलर के हिसाब से यू हैव टू जस्टिफाई योर डिजाइन डिसीजंस के फॉर अ ब्लू कलर वर्कर ये चीजें जरूरी है. मे बी इंस्टेड ऑफ राइटिंग ड्राइवर नीडेड, मे बी आई शुड ड्रॉ पुट एन आइकन ऑफ अ ड्राइविंग व्हील और मे बी अ पेंट ब्रश और व्हाटएवर. सो वो थिंकिंग थ्रू हिज आईज द पर्सोना ऑफ दैट ब्लू कलर वर्कर इज you have to build more robustly. You will have to think through and chalk out the scenarios that he will encounter while using an app.
Okay, no problem, ma'am. I'll keep that in mind next time.
Yeah.
Thank you for your valuable suggestions, juries. Thank you. And thank you, participants, for your valuable questions.
Judges, shall we move on to the next participant?
Yeah.
Okay, moving on. The next team is Team Nothing. Are you guys present?
Hello. Hi. Yeah, we're ready.
Hello?
Yeah, hi. Can you hear us?
Can you come a little closer to the mic, please?
Am I audible now?
Yeah. Carry on.
I'll just share my screen. Hi, good morning, jury. So we are Team Nothing, first semester MBA students from IIT Hyderabad. So the problem we have picked up is we thought that was very huge, an issue that's a big thing, and we thought is a major concern, that is land record problem. As we can see here, how frequent these land fraud issues are, and a lot of resources are being consumed in solving these issues. 21 lakh hectares of land is locked in land conflicts. 2/3 of the cases are pending in the court. So moving to our problem statement, the problem statement we have come down to is people are facing difficulty with the current land record system in terms of frauds, leading to conflict of ownership and deprivation of land rights. This induces a lack of trust in the authority and fear of destruction of records by force. We tried seeing what could be the spectrum of possible use cases, like lack of uniformity and poor maintenance of land records. And the problem can be as big as conflict of ownership, especially in case of immigrants. And here I'd like to quote what's happening in Kashmir at present, my native place. Taking the story of my own grandfather, Echanjala, after 20 years of staying in refuge colonies, when he finally went back home to see his house and probably stay in it again, get it repaired, he reached there to realize that the house was owned by a third person now. And it was sold to that third person by some other person. And when he tried backtracking it, visited all the government offices, there was nothing he could find. And he was just disheartened and he had to come back to Delhi to live where he was, since there was no authority that could help him out. And this is not the story of my grandfather, but many others, not just in Kashmir, but in the entire country. A lot of resources of our country are being used up in solving these issues, which is something we can easily solve by system design. Converging three broader categories of problems that need to be addressed. How might we ensure people trust the authorities? How might we aid users to access the historical and litigative details of the land? How might we reduce the time delay in land ownership and transfer? Now the question is, how can we solve this problem? By leveraging the features of blockchain as a technology. It has a lot of features. For example, we can use provenance for backtracking of the land records, which is something which would have helped our user persona to backtrack his house and who sold it to whom, which would have helped him get it back. So the benefit of blockchain is that rather than having one centralized trusting body, we will have a distributed trusting body, which makes it difficult for the system to corrupt, and hence it is the best solution and secure as well. So here we have simply tried to show that how by implementing a system design solution, when we visit a website, we can easily backtrack who the land ownership has been transferred by whom to whom, which is definitely going to help us. So a lot of our country's resources are being used up in this, and while these can be redirected towards something better, leading to the development of the country and improving the economy and bringing an impact.
Shikha, I'm not able to see your screen. Maybe that was, I don't know if it's just me.
That might
now
be
I
a
am.
problem.
Again, it's gone.
Can you see something now?
I can see a screen that says wireframes, and before that, there's a screen that says solutions.
Yeah, that's the thing. So I feel that this is a huge problem, and the impact of the problem is so high that we need to solve it. And we are solving it based on a system design solution where blockchain comes as a core technology of it. That's all we have to say. Thank you.
The floor is open for the judges to ask questions.
Yeah, so did you study what the government is doing? I think they already have some kind of proposal on having land records on blockchain.
Yes, we did study about it. We did study a little about it, but it was mostly about, what we found was mostly about digitizing the system, but we couldn't read anywhere about using blockchain. So the reason we chose blockchain was that digitizing is already happening. The problem is that because of there being a centralized trusting body, you can easily bribe them, corrupt them, and get things done your way. That's the reason we thought of blockchain. And also backtracking is a very important feature, I feel. So I'll take the example of my native place, for example, Kashmir. What's happening there right now is that they are wanting the migrants to come back. And they're asking them to come back and recognize their lands because there is no study of how the ownership was transferred. So like if I owned a house there, my neighbor randomly got into that house and sold it to a third person, which has further sold it to other people. So it has become a huge issue, and backtracking is something very important to solve these issues.
Can you go back to your solution once again?
Yes.
I mean, I understood the problem, understood what you wanted to do, and that it's on blockchain, but not beyond that.
Yes. So yeah, this is the solution. It's a system design solution we're looking at.
And go back to the screens that you have. I mean, this part it's clear. If you can go to the
screens. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, like what's actually happening here?
So what's happening here is that once you go to the home page, I'll start from there. So once you go to the home page, there are these RERA numbers that you have. And once you search for your RERA number, you can request the owner for access to the information of the land. So once you have information to the access of the land, earlier you just knew about the acreage, the rate, the ID and all. So one major feature that will come here is by without having to go to many offices, bribe a few government officials, simply with the help of this portal, actually system design solution, which will be reflected in this portal, you can see the ownership, the past ownership, and like how the ownership has been transferred, and this will help resolve the issues and discrepancies.
So apart from telling you about the status, what more does it do? Allow you to maybe connect with the owner, or does it have considered that?
Yes. So all of those things are there. And another thing is that there is already a website in place where you can look at the land, present lands and their details. So we were concentrating more on system design solution and how that will bring a change. So yeah, how that will bring a change is with respect to adding provenance, which helps you backtrack, then connecting, then there's more trust in the system.
You're
Vivek,
not
this side.
seeing many trust factors. When you say trust, what are the trust factors? Why do I trust this website? I'm sorry. Yeah, go on. Who was saying?
Yeah, as a system design. So what we are saying that on a blockchain, we code everything as a transaction. So let's say
वो हमको पता है. End user को पता है blockchain क्या है.
Yes. So one another use case can be like the paperwork and the time it takes. So there we can use it. Like so many of the cases, if you see, are pending. It is totally dependent on the time it takes to allot and re-allot and go through all the departments or the stakeholders which we have. So if we can leverage features like smart contract, therein we can leverage the whole thing about the function, as in how automatically one thing can be transferred when one of the things is done. Let's say I transfer a land to another person. So the smart contract can be coded in a way that if this paper is received, as soon as the paper is received, the ownership of the land would directly go to that person. So it will reduce the time which is involved in all the paperwork. So there also we can leverage in those terms.
I'm completely on board with you with the solutioning part of it. Okay. I'm just talking from the user point of view. How do I know this is not a scam site? How do I trust this website? मेरे को अभी trust establish करके दिखाओ, because your initial problem statement was कि वो एक तो हमारा government authorities पे trust नहीं है और हमारा थोड़ा बहुत इस पे trust नहीं है कि who is land का ownership किसका है क्या है. It's a very muddy area. So what are you going to do for somebody to come here and feel ke I can trust this website?
Yeah, correct. So, ma'am, as we see in, let's say I take an example of a Zomato app. So how do we trust the information that, so how do we trust is it is the live tracking which it has. So here we will have a live tracking of it. So because all the stakeholders, let's say the government or so all the stakeholders are there on the same chain. So whatever events are taking place, it is automatically updating. So I think with that feature, with the live update feature, we can have or build a trust that, what is the situation currently in our case, where is the document, what is the next step which will be processed. So with that, we are trying to establish that trust with the end user. Because we in the current system, we don't have a system of transparency wherein we could know that, what is the current status of the file, or let's say the possession we are talking about.
So I just feel that we maybe need a more omni-channel approach for this. You don't you're focusing too much on a website and a search and result screen. That trust building will have to come from multiple channels. Maybe you will have to, you will need to get some people who have used this are giving some kind of ratings here or reviews here, or there is some government backed, say it is approved by government or whatever, that kind of,
Sure, ma'am. I would just like to...
very hard to trust for me to put my, do anything.
So
people don't understand technology, right? People, for them, it's like, ye itna sab scams wams kyun hota hai? Because people, either they are very naive about it or they are very distrustful about it. वो balance achieve करना is very difficult.
Ma'am, I would just take an example of the app wherein we have to, upload all our documents. So there, since it's a government app, so we have a trust on it. I am talking about the DigiLocker thing. So there, it's more like they demand more trust than this case, because there we are putting all the documents which are personal to us. So why we are trusting it? Because we know that it's a trusted entity who is governing it. So in this case, as people have already known about the technology, we are going to leverage that knowledge, that how secure blockchain technology is. And since government is involved as a body, we believe it to be intrinsically trusted. That's how we are playing in. So the current system, so we ran down to some works which currently the government is doing. So the gap we found out was mentioned by Siksha earlier, that they are still trying to digitize all the things and trying to come up with a one-stop solution. But then again, it becomes not a trustworthy thing, because again we can hack it because it's a central thing. So what we are proposing is the feature that when it comes to the distributed thing, people know it, know blockchain as a technology, and we are going to leverage that knowledge with the trust thing.
But you'd have to you'd have to create the right kind of buzz around this. Like I said, I'm completely with you on the solutioning part. It's the trust building with end users is where I have a
correct, ma'am. I would just like to take one more example. So see how we started using DigiLocker. So initially the traffic police, when people circulated that you can show the DigiLocker document to the traffic police, and that can be treated as a original certificate and a valid certificate. So that's how people started trusting it, that it is somewhere linked to the government body, and it's coming from that entity, the entity which is the whole authority of it. So it's not a public let's say built by any firm or anything. It's backed by the government itself. So in those terms, we can circulate a trust buzz around.
Yeah, so this is something that you should mention in your presentation, that this is connected to the government records, because if it's presented as a private solution, obviously that's where all these trust questions are coming from, right?
We'll surely keep that in mind.
Yeah, in any case, you will not get access to everyone's land records unless the government is involved, right? That is the only way your solution is going to work. I mean, practically speaking, right?
Sure.
So, yeah, you should add that.
Right to,
it could be like a listing service, like a nobroker.com, but then वैसा भी होता है कि if you're selling land, there's a nobroker.com where people are selling properties. There is a level of verification that's done by no broker. The government's not involved in it, but seems to be like a fairly robust thing that people have begun to trust.
Correct. Yeah, ma'am. So again,
but eventually the land record ownership with the sub-registrar, whatever local office, that's not going to, that is what we are talking about here.
That's right? Of course, that is definitely there. But
you can't get there without the government.
Yeah, these guys do a verification and things like that of paperwork. So one level verification, maybe if you can do or. But since you're saying it's going to be channeled through government channels, then I think
I want to add one more point. Like, we are talking about integrating all the stakeholders and getting all the stakeholders on board. Let's say if a certification body goes and certifies a piece of land, that will also be stored as a transaction. So that data is directly used to verify when it comes to smart contracts. So in those terms, we are trying to build a trust that we don't have anything taking it from a database. It's directly doing it live. So and that is what my point was when I talked about showing it live, showing the live status, that now currently this is the position, and this is the further track which will be followed to get to that point.
Okay.
Any other question?
Hello. I have one question. Yes. So is there any rules for the builders or the landowner that they needs to be there into this particular, in your application? Because what happens sometimes in offline, so one builder will sell their lands to more than two people. I mean, the same land has been, sold for two people. So they will not get to know, like, in 1 year, in the starting first half, they will send that particular land to one person, and after 1 year that will be sold for another person. So is there any rules for those? They can come in our application?
Yeah. So if you talk about the rules, I would say that it is intrinsically coded in, because when that person has sold it in the first year, when that person has sold it to the first person, automatically that transaction goes on the blockchain as a block. So when someone tries to sell it to the other person, the code itself will not allow it because that possession has already changed from
No, no,
person A to B.
no. That person will not be there in your application or like that. I mean, he will be, his office will be like, offline, and he will be selling that particular land. I mean, he might have that land in the farming, so he took that land and selling to some others. So in that scenario,
I think that is the thing. What we are talking about is that the problem of not registered lands. So that also is intrinsically solved because as if you are not registered, you cannot participate itself in the whole legal process.
Okay.
So in that way, we are ensuring that not all the lands are first of all registered, and when it comes to the stakeholders, if you are a stakeholder, only if you are registered to that thing.
Okay.
Like it can be linked to let's say Aadhaar, so that it has that trust thing.
Yeah. Yes. Okay. Thanks. Yeah.
Thank you.
If all the jury members are done asking the questions, shall we move on to the next participant group?
Yeah, I guess we have 5 more to go and we have only half an hour more, right?
Yeah. Also requesting all the non-jury members to refrain themselves from asking any questions because of the time shortage we have. Okay, moving on to the next group, that is Sugar and Spice. If you guys are present, you guys can go ahead and start.
Hello. I'll share. Let me know if you can see the screen. Hello.
Yeah, no, do let us know once you start sharing.
Yeah, I have shared my screen.
Not visible.
Is it visible now?
Sorry, not yet.
Not yet?
No, unfortunately.
Okay, Shraddha, can you share your screen?
Just a second. Is it visible?
Yes, you guys can go ahead.
Okay, yeah. So hi, I am Neha Raut with my team member Shraddha Raut. So good evening, everyone. Have you ever thought of the moment when you were born and you were equipped with the rights and laws to lead a legal and rightful life in a country? Or are you even aware of your basic rights, such as the right to life, or even or flying a kite of rupees 100 could cost you rupees 10 lakh fine and 2 years of your life in jail, since it needs permission. I'm sure majority of us have unknowingly disobeyed our rights and are continuing to do so. So
Neha,
here
have
we are.
you slides? Sorry, have you moved the slides because I'm only
No,
seeing
no,
the...
no, no. We haven't.
Okay.
Yeah. So here we are trying to help Indian citizens become fully aware of their rights. Can you go to the next slide? Yeah. So we'll be next one. Okay, so the project brief problem statement we have taken is to help Indian citizens get acquainted with their legal rights. Next one. We did a background check and found in a population of 138 crores with more than 1000 plus acts, laws or rights, only 0.5% of the population get legal aid. Next one. For a research study, we studied a few, Shraddha next. So for our research, we studied, the research one. Yeah, done. For our research, we studied few websites and applications by Indian government and conducted few interviews. And also we have talked to few of the lawyers who are our friends and in our family. Go to next. The major gap we got is not knowing that people don't know such websites or apps exist because there are no promotions or advertisements that are highlighted. So mostly where people get to know about their laws, acts, or rights are from newspaper. That's the main source. And in these, like if you search on Google, these websites and applications have heavy legal terms, which are also further not explained. And even the basic rights are often neglected by government officials themselves. Even there is a fear or hesitation in people of doing the wrong while taking a legal decision. Can you go next? Yeah. So our target group is like could be everyone and anyone, irrespective of their caste, age, or gender. So, since it is very complex to understand laws, rights in such a short time, we have considered only women laws at workplace. So we have created a persona who is Savi, who is a researcher at a bio like pharmaceutical company, and she is facing problems like she's getting less wage, less salary, whereas the same for like a male person who is in the same position is getting a higher salary than her. So there are these type of pain points challenges she's facing in her company. Can you go to next? Next. Okay, so we have, after doing the analysis, we have come up with how might we questions that how might we make laws easy to understand, and how might we make citizens independent to understand and take a stand for their rights. Next one. And we created a basic user flow, like how we will have login pages, home pages, and whatever features we'll have, which I'll explain you in the prototype. Can you go next? Yeah, go to the home page.
Guys, 1 minute left. Just a reminder.
Yeah, go to the home page. Yeah. So suppose a person has signed up. We'll have our sign up as a handheld experience where it will be very friendly, so that the person could trust our website. Ki information is not taken to बाद में उनको परेशान करने के लिए और send in notifications or फालतू की something like that. And then when the person comes to the home page, then we'll have this recommendation engine. If the person is female, then we can have new acts or rights or laws somewhere which are related to women and all. And also it is like not everybody is well versed with the language, English language. So we have also kept regional and local languages over here. Go to the next slide. In the search one, when we did the competitive studies, so for in some of them they had the search, and there you have to add the actual law or act to have the search result. But then we can have a database wherein we can have break down the acts or laws into simpler keywords like women workplace laws. So it will show the search results, and then further in our like in the government websites, we saw that the information is really cluttered. So we have segregated the information, like they can read about the act, and they can next read how to file a complaint or about the process. And also we have given the source, the government website ka source or wherever we are taking it from, so that the person will trust the content that we have given. Go to the next one.
Your 5 minutes are up, so I would request you to quickly go through the prototype, please.
Yes. Only 2 are left. Yeah. So we have also added a dictionary because there are legal terms like Article 15 ho gaya or something like that. So they can come up yahan pe dictionary pe to understand it, or they can directly click over there. We have highlighted it and click on the content itself, body text itself to and it will open a pop-up or something. And also we have added read aloud to understand the pronunciation or something while talking to a lawyer, or copy paste the text if they want to search anything else. Next. Yeah. So we can have a filter. For now, for the filters, we need to do a extensive study of the law, rights, and everything. But then for now, we have kept it as like they can select it as gender, age, marital status, and there are 7 type of laws that we got when asking while asking like having a discussion with the lawyer. So we based on that they can filter right now. So that's our application. So for now we have like focus mainly on understanding the information. Yeah, understanding, making people aware about the process that they have to follow, the point of contact to reach in terms of specific legal issues they are facing or something like that. And the future scope is like we know we have to do an extensive study because laws and acts are interrelated, and till now we haven't been able to crack it. Thank you.
So I think it's an interesting problem to solve. I wanted to see what you felt as the prompt for your user to download or open this app. Like, what happens in their life when they start looking at this information, or do you expect that they'll be generally aware?
So, as I said that in our research, we found out like a newspaper is the major source. So, newspaper mein, if we show a highlighted advertisement, because that is the only source that we got to know ki act ya rules unhe pata chalte law. So, wahan pe we could that could be the basic promotion method to let people know. Otherwise, other than that, if you want to expand further, we can introduce a bit, we can brief it to the school students or the college students. We can start from there also.
Right. So you're talking a bit about like general awareness that I should open this as a right. And I mean, I'm thinking more from today when someone wants to understand legal information, the prompt is usually something happens, right? There is a situation in which you need to understand it when typically people run to a lawyer and try to understand, or there is something going on by someone they know is involved in some legal issue and they want to find out more, maybe to help them out. Those are usually that's what as a general user I can say, right? So today, if I don't have any of those situations, like why would I open this up for GK, right? It's like to build my general knowledge. I may not spend time on legal information unless I have a specific need for it.
Okay. To answer this, I would say is like we all live, we are Indian families, we all have a bigger family, relatives and everything. So there is no one that doesn't know कि किसी को land issues है या किसी को basic जैसे चालान. The issue of चालान is very like basic. जो हम चालान दे देते हैं, but then there is a rule कि भाई you get some like few hours to take if you don't have the license, you could go to the respective police station and show it, and you don't have to pay any money, but we don't know them. But yeah, I understand that people blindly trust the lawyers because they do not want to understand. Maybe that's why we have introduced language wala option. So this is totally, I would say, we have to test it. This is test and trial method because there is ample amount of information available. What we have tried to declutter it, segregate it, better way se present karna and all of that. So I won't say that people will be fully using it. That will happen only if we have a usability testing sort of that thing.
Yeah, I mean, I would say that what you should look for are cues on what prompts someone to be interested in a legal topic, and then what is the right format for them to learn. If you want them to be generally aware, then so if you think about finance, right, like that's the same problem. Like people are just happy to pay a CA $1,000 to file their taxes. Though almost every year I have to correct what the CA has done. So it's the same thing with this as well, right? And that is what prompts me to go and find out more because hey, it's my hard-earned money and I want to make sure it's being filed correctly. For this as well, there is something has to happen, right? And unless that happens, for general knowledge, you got to find out, what is the right format? Is it a short video? Is it like some other format that would get me interested in it? And then I can read more, right? So think about that perspective.
Yeah, so right now we just want to understand. So we have connected with lawyers. We are just in the process of understanding how much information, giving how much information upfront is, good. So that is
So
that.
I think when it comes to law, it's very complicated for the common man. It's also very boring.
Right.
So if you give an app where you've got to, again, this becomes like a reactive solution. You come there or you download it only when you need it.
Mhm.
But if you want to make law better understood to the common man, you'll have to find, like Samir rightly said, a different approach, maybe videos, maybe something that makes people. So most common people will be, I mean, most of us for that matter, for a topic that is not of our immediate interest or a very invested interest, we are very passive consumers of content.
Yeah.
जब तक मेरे साथ कुछ लीगल प्रॉब्लम नहीं होता मैं लीगल ऐप तो डाउनलोड नहीं करूंगी और ऐप जैसे मतलब मोबाइल जैसे छोटे स्क्रीन पे ऑन अ वेरी स्मॉल स्क्रीन लाइक दैट it is going to be very difficult to read something as long, complicated and descriptive as legal stuff. If you're doing it on mobile, you will probably have to make it more easily consumable, easier to, maybe small bites of knowledge, fun fact of the day, your right for the day, or something of that sort. You have to make it, if we're going with the mobile solution, that is to say. Rather than just having reams of text explaining things which are already complicated and they're getting explained in further detail, वो इतना सारा copy कोई पढ़ता नहीं.
Right. We will take this feedback and we'll try to make the information more simpler.
So a solution could be even a YouTube channel. I mean, it doesn't have to be an app. Yeah.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Yeah, we'll think through all of these.
Okay, but yeah, it's something that is important. I think most of us are not aware of our rights, of the laws that impact us. And we never know when we've overstepped something that we shouldn't be, and whether or not it should be challenged as a common public of the country. So awareness definitely important for all of us. But we need to work out a solution that's more in line, more catering to the general people.
Right.
So when you mentioned about the kite flying, that's something that I didn't know. Now that you told me, it suddenly struck me as like a fun fact, or not a fun fact, but your rights, or did you know kind of a thing.
Okay.
Those kind of things can come up depending on season, depending on what festivities are going on, or things like that. Again, rather than being reactive, maybe being more proactive about how your app works.
Okay.
Because it will not occur to me to go and search, are there any laws around kite flying?
No, yeah, that's true.
Yeah. So when is there the season for kite flying, then you should probably be pushing it more. ये video
Yes.
देखना, maybe we'll explain to you what the laws are around kite flying, things like that.
Yes.
ठीक है.
Yep, we can move to the next.
All right.
Hello.
Can you stop sharing, please? Yeah, thank you. So we have the next team here, Team Titan.
Yeah, I'm just sharing my screen.
Yeah,
Is it visible?
it's loading. Yeah, it's visible now. You can start.
Okay. So good evening, everyone. I am Manya and I'm the team leader of Teen Titans. And I would like to take a quick opportunity to introduce my teammates who've been with me in this competition, that are Mahima and Kriti. So before I begin, one thing that I would like to emphasize on is the fact that India is the global agricultural powerhouse. So if it wasn't for the farmers, we would have been starving. And the irony is that the farmers, who are the principal food producers, are currently at the forefront of the misery. They haven't, they like from the recent news articles and from everything that all the information that is disseminated online or through newspapers and TVs, we understand that farmers have been in a very sensitive position financially as well as in terms of their livelihood. So to introduce our problem statement, I would like to bring your notice on I would like to bring your notice on the statistics that we found online. So basically, I'm not sure how many people here know about the soil health card scheme, but there was the importance of soil testing was understood by government, and in 2015, the government launched a soil health card scheme, which was known by a lot of farmers, but the statistics show that only half of the farmers could actually implement the soil health card and use it effectively to uh, increase their crop yield and to effectively use the suggestions that were given to them. So further on diving deeper into it and understanding the challenges which might have faced in the effectiveness of the soil health card, it was understood that there was a delay in the test reports, and also the reports were difficult to understand. They were extremely information intensive. uh, there was a heavy use of terminologies and jargons which the farmers locally do not use. There was lack of local language and terms. If we go through the soil health card website, which is by the government, it is an extremely cluttered website. Personally, even I could not navigate it, so I wonder how farmers would be able to navigate through it. And also a major issue was no visual representation. So before we began diving deeper, we as a team decided to have a preliminary mind mapping, and we decided to go through resources that were available online on the soil health card, and to brainstorm on what possible technological solutions can be implemented along with a more accessible and comprehensible design to help farmers tackle these issues. And one of the major questions that popped to us as a team was whether farmers will be able to implement this effectively use this digital platform that we will be creating. And so from our basic, very primary conversations with farmers and farmer producer organizations, we were able to understand that farmers owned a smartphone and they used the mobile facilities as well as the internet services, but they were only limited to entertainment purposes or to communicate with friends and family. They had never really used these facilities or did not even think of using these facilities for agricultural purposes. Uh, because of the crunch of time, I would like to jump directly to like our solution, but I would like to give a small overview. Is that we finally decided that we would want to create a digital platform which is accessible and easily comprehensible and leverages cutting edge technologies which can help farmers effectively implement methods in their fields which can help them have high yield crops and then also sustainable use of fertilizers and water. So the few target SDGs that we had in our mind were the first SDG, which is no poverty, the 12th SDG, which was responsible consumption and production, and the 15th, which is life on land. Further, to understand better the pain points, needs, and expectations of our target users, who are farmers in this case, we had prepared a proper user interview and survey, and we had framed a questionnaire to better understand the issues that they might be facing, which we in our primary research could not understand or could not gauge. And on the basis of that, we developed a user persona for one particular farmer to clearly classify the pains that they have been going through and the expectations that they have, and in under what conditions they would be ready to use the application or the digital platform more frequently and more effectively, and how it can help them. So I would directly want to jump to the problem analysis and the effective solutions that we as a team decided upon. So the first and the major focus was the redesign of soil health card. So soil health card, the present design of
And
soil
just a
health
reminder,
card.
you have under 1 minute.
Okay, so the present design of soil health card is extremely information intensive. There are no visuals. Also, the terminology is used. If one example I would give is that they use the measurement unit as acre or hectare, and farmers are completely unaware of those because they might use other measurement units which are more local to them, such as biga. Then the next focus was the detection of pests and diseases. One thing that farmers were really troubled with was that if they have bigger land sizes, or even if they have smaller land sizes, they were unable to detect pests and diseases. And there were also times when the disease or the pest that had attacked their crop wasn't necessarily something they had encountered in their past, and did not really know the possible uh, solutions to tackling that particular pest or disease. The third focus was making soil sampling easy. So the farmers are very much aware of the soil testing and all the opportunities that the government provides them, but for them it is a very difficult task to implement it, because in the first thing is that they are unaware of the right method to collect the soil samples, and the second is it is a very long and delayed process, which basically makes the user lose interest in it. The fourth
With
point,
time is up, can you quickly move on to the solution for this?
yeah, sure. So the solution that we finally decided for these four problems that I have just discussed is that we decided to implement image detection for pest control, and use of artificial intelligence and machine learning algorithms to correctly suggest the diseases and methods to mitigate them. Also, as I suggested, that soil sampling has been a problem for farmers. That is largely because they are unable to gauge the correct sample points from where they can collect the soil samples. So we'll be using geofencing for land measurement, and then an identification of potential sample points after the measurement of land for soil testing. So I'll simply go through the application walkthrough to better explain. So this is like our home screen, and on the home screen, I have clearly mentioned that one of the primary things that we want to focus on is for the farmers to be able to check data, and the second to be able to easily read their soil test report. So the first two call to action buttons are these, and other than that, if the farmer is very active on the application, the farmer will also have uh, a record of the current crop that he has sown, and the cycle, and all necessary information relating to that, which can be directly taken from their soil health cards. When we click on checking for diseases, because we have clearly understood that the farmers are not very happy with a lot of information being given to them, and they have mostly used their mobile phones and for entertainment purposes. So it is best if on click they can simply click a picture of the affected area of their crop, and it can directly give them suggestions like it is giving them here, and then they can go through possible cures, which will be in the form of videos and more visual representation, so that they can easily implement it. Moving further with the second important thing that I mentioned was soil sampling. So when you go for soil testing, there is the option to basically auto walk or manually input the field size. Once the user does that, once the farmer does that, they'll be able to go around use geo positioning, and then they'll be able to basically have their land measured. And once their land is measured, using the algorithms and the right methods that have been detected by the researchers in the field of agriculture, sample points will be detected, and they can easily navigate to these sample points using Google Maps, which will be right here. Moving further, the soil test report, to enhance the readability and understanding of soil test reports, we have understood that using local languages is a very important thing. There are a lot of things, for example, pH and organic carbon, etc., which the farmers understand differently in their local language. And for different farmers of different areas, like for north, for south, for central India, each farmer has a different sort of a language, which is going to be one challenge. So we decided to use color coding, so that they can easily understand if there is excessive amount of a certain something, or if the amount is normal. And these can further also be helped at a later stage to provide them with recommendations on of what practices they should be doing, or how much fertilizer, etc., they should be putting, as it is suggested in the current soil health card also. Moving further, as we had understood that farmers like to the only way to increase, other than these important things, the other way to increase engagement of farmers on the application would be by providing them financial benefits in the form of discounts for available fertilizers. Because one thing we understood from our research is that farmers are more inclined towards using the fertilizers which are provided to them on subsidiary, instead of using fertilizers which would actually benefit their crop. So this could be good way of increasing farmer engagement of the on the app, and then also could provide farmers benefits. And the last problem that I had shared was the issue of knowledge dissemination and awareness among farmers. So farmers are unable to connect with the various opportunities provides them in the form of Krishi Seva, etc., wherein they are just a call away from connecting and solving their issues. So this could be a point of contact for them. And to summarize,
Team, your time is up. You wrap up.
Yeah, so the to summarize all of this and to understand the future scope of this entire application, one major thing that it would help with is the centralization of data. And once the all the data from different farmers is centralized, integration with and data from the application will eventually make it easier to access information, and it will be quicker. Moving further, the research, which is extremely important. So the can further be given to scientists and genetic engineers, and they can help, uh, you know, in identifying trends and creating high yield crop varieties, or giving suggestions which can help in more sustainable use of soil and water. Moving further,
I would suggest you to stop the chat session and open the floor for the judges to.
I think the depth of the subject is so much, so it's very difficult to get into this such a small time frame. So can we get it to question answers?
Yeah, sure. Hello.
So how are people going to be using this app in terms of whether before the registration itself, right? There are registered users and there are what we say novice users.
Yeah, so as of now, what we have understood is the best way to disseminate information to farmers is that even if even if one farmer among the group is versed with how to use the application and can prove to other farmers that is am I audible?
Yeah.
Yeah, and can prove to other farmers that there is a very good output after using the suggestions that they have been using through the soil health card, which has actually honestly happened among farmers, that farmers started adopting soil health cards more and more when they saw that one particular farmer was benefit
Is it
out of
easy,
the.
okay, is it easy to market such apps to the farmers directly?
No, not at all. I would say
What will
farmers
be the
have.
mode of promotions and communication?
Okay, so the form of promotions and communications to farmers, the best form would be through FPOs, which are producer organizations who have a large group of farmers who are integrated with them, and farmers actually trust these organizations a lot. So when these organizations would start, disseminating more information about how these applications could actually help farmers and could actually make
Got
it.
Yeah, I think you're elaborating too much. I don't want that. Okay, one more thing. How, is the soil testing paid or it's free?
Done by the government, yes, it is for free. But if there are multiple other organizations coming to the forefront who will be charging a little bit, but will be giving more elaborate soil health reports.
Okay, who can be the external partners to this app rather other than farmers and government?
I would say there are B2B such as the Heart application. Then there is also one in Kerala that I found online. I'm missing out on the name, but they provide soil testing services, and they are also a B2B.
Is it only soil testing as a problem statement, or there is a lot more to it also beyond that?
I believe it will begin from the soil testing, and then slowly there are a lot of things that can be tackled and can effectively help farmers. So for these particular startups that I talked about, like Dihat have grown a lot. But for example, for the other, the Kerala startup, one big issue they were facing was that they also provided water testing as well as soil testing, but they could not get farmers to do it. And eventually, in one of their surveys, they had mentioned that they connected largely with FPOs, which helped them gain farmers better.
Okay, cool. I was talking about the pharmaceutical companies who are providing fertilizers and organic fertilizers.
Okay, so that aspect I have not yet.
Loans, financial education institutions who can take loans for their crops. buyers and markets who can come and buy the yield. Insurance agencies can come and ensure that. So you're talking about only one small entity, but you are not looking at the holistic problems of farmers, right?
Yes, because I couldn't really
Okay.
gauge a lot of
Not a
understanding on
problem.
that aspect.
Not a problem. Thank you.
Judges, do you guys have any other questions?
Nothing from my side.
Samir,
No questions, thanks.
okay. So moving on to the next team.
Thank you.
Team title, can you start?
Thank you, Manya.
Thank you. Moving on to the next team, the beginner.
Yes.
Please present your pitch. Thank you.
Just a second.
Team beginner. Are you guys present?
Can you move to Visionaries then, if they're available?
Yeah. If you guys are having trouble, we can present last. Moving on to Team Visionary. Are you guys present?
Yes, Krishna. Yeah.
Yeah. So you can start sharing the screen. Thank you.
Hi, everyone. We are Team The Visionaries. So we have picked the problem of food security. And so, yeah, here is our problem statement. So we aim to understand the problems around food security, hunger, and food wastage. So as we already know, like we see a lot of cases like in India, there are like a lot of malnutrition, undernourished population, and India being like the primary condition of civilization. So we know like the sharing of food and where it comes from as the primary discipline of civilized living. So what we aim to do is like design a food system where we just named it as Annapurna for below poverty people who are deprived of basic necessities through sharing food and create a social inclusiveness among the people. So we just started with like what is sharing and why we share, with whom do we share. So like this was like just a whatever comes to our mind, we started jotting down things. And so sharing is like the joint use of a resource or space. It is also the process of dividing and distributing. So why food sharing? So like food is the basic necessity and universal necessity. It's also the fundamental factor of human civilization. So the food web requires both a revival of traditions around food that we have been around and new systems for today's context to create social bonds. So coming to this, like we did our primary research around like what is happening currently. So the data is from UNICEF, and Uttar Pradesh being the highest number in state with malnutrition and that's attributed to malnutrition. So coming to like next, we saw that as per the recent release of 2021, the Global Hunger Index, we are placed in a category of serious, which is the score of 27.5. And yeah, like India's poverty profile. So 1 in 5 Indians is poor. And with this problem, we want to solve, like we want to provide or secure them with helping by sharing food. And also we want to shed a light on the food wastage that has been happening and what happens to the excess food from different stakeholders, like be it restaurants or the catering services or weddings and so on. So we also saw, like, while everybody is just busy grabbing more than what they actually need and preserving it, they're also forgetting, like, people who roam across the streets that we see in our day-to-day life. So they just need a single piece of bread. So coming to the religion and culture, so the food or annam is considered pure and sacred. So dana refers to like the donation or charity of giving. So with this, we started taking into the cultural aspect of it as well, like the Indian beliefs of sharing. Sharing food is enshrined in most basic texts of Indian antiquity. So we know about the Akshay Patra case. So we did a few case studies. Everyone has experienced langars. There are like a lot of Sai Bhandaras, if you're familiar, in Maharashtra, and things around like how the cultural aspect of sharing food is. And we also did a study on how share my dabba, the concept around the Mumbai dabbawalas. So people, so they started with this, like, put a sticker on their dabba and then just say that feeds a child. So a lot of initiatives are coming up, a lot of NGOs are involved, and they're like looking after it. So also Akshay Patra Kitchen, that everyone must be aware of. So they're the world's largest NGO run midday meal program, serving schools lunches over millions across different states in India. So the design direction one that we are catering to is for sharing of cooked food. So, where the main source of excess food comes from, the fast food franchisees, caterings, institutions, hotels, and restaurants. So, so there is no right bridge to meet the donor and the recipients. So with this, what we're trying to, so these are visuals from what we have seen, like in our, be it like day-to-day life, our past experiences. So there's a lady helping the people by donating some clothes. On the left side, we see visuals of father and son cooking on this footpaths. So these are like some of the visuals that it's in our heart, and we want to do something to change the society and provide help for the
Gentle reminder, only 1 minute left.
Yeah.
I'd request you to go to
yes. So the design direction one for the cooked food, so how we can provide that. We thought of a food connect system, that is, there is a food bank and it has all the amenities, like it provides users with their picking services. So what we trying to do here is, like, there's some application with which this, so application is just one solution there, but this food connect system will have an application where let's say I'm a donor and I want to donate, like, or I want this food bank, I want to donate to the food bank. We will have an application wherein we'll have hunger heroes nearby us, and we say, like, okay, I want to share or I want to donate, and I see hunger heroes nearby me, or I see a food bank nearby me. So they accept your request, come to your house or whatever the situation is, and pick your donations. So, and then the food is redistributed to the places like where these needy peoples are. And this is the banks or the food banks responsibility to do it. So this is like a full system project that we can see, like the food bank will be situated in different locations, which will help do the redistribution. And this is for the cooked food. So all handling, the hygiene and the shelf life of the food, if it's perishable, not. So all these things will be taken care. The design direction, I'll quickly jump.
Your 5 minutes are over.
So yeah, I'll just take 1.5 minutes. So the design direction 2 is like, we saw problems in our existing target public distribution systems or the fair price shops. So how the food grains can be shared or like distributed to these people, because what we saw is a lot of problems in the system are adulteration, be it corruption, or a lot of people are not getting what they are allocated the food, the rations or the food grains for. So we have thought of something as a vending machine. So we call it as Annapurna system. And this will be set up at every village for dispensing food grains for the needy individuals, and collaborating with NGOs, farmers, and other stakeholders who are willing to donate or want to contribute. So they can just refill the ATMs and people can just come here and take their like food grains or whatever needs they have based on their, so they need an Aadhaar card. So they'll have some authentication wherein they come as an individual or a family and take what is there for them. So yeah, thank you. Open for questions.
The floor is open for all the judges to ask any questions.
Very well presented, lot of information.
Yeah. Also,
Quite
that
detailed.
the fact that somebody
Was it
moved
done in
away
48
from
hours
home.
for sure? Was it done in 48 hours for sure?
Yeah, so we are a team of 4.
Yeah, but still, all this information, this infographic, polished presentation,
yeah,
takes time.
Yes, yes.
Or this was already some half cooked ready, and you just refined it further.
No, actually. So this was this topic was something which I was very keen on working since since long time, and already had a concept or a visualized thing in head. So yeah, worked on the presentation for the whole night. So yeah, the team is also there. So helped me with the 3Ds and all. So yeah.
You have a graphic designer also with you.
Yes. We have Rajesh, we have Asna and Ankita.
Interesting solution.
Yeah, interesting solution. The fact that you've actually gone ahead and not gone for an app. You kind of looked at it more holistically. So
thank you.
Good stuff.
Shivani, I have a question. So any thoughts on making your user, whoever that user is, who is below poverty line, not to stay dependent on this particular system that you are putting for?
So this is not just the solution for them, if they're not aware of.
You're saying I have surplus food. One clarifying question, is it for the institutions like restaurants and big kitchens, or it can be if I have surplus food, I can donate? Is it for me also?
So it's for somebody who is like a middleman and will do it, who will redistribute it. Like let's say I am a donor and I want to connect.
Who is a donor? Donor is a restaurant, or it can be a person also?
It can be a person also, yes. So that's why where this hunger heroes would be there in the city, where people can actually check them out and see.
That I understood. Now question is there any thought on that to not be dependent on this system?
Yes, definitely. If there are in cities we have familiar roads that we pass from, and we know there is this basti or there is this place where we see be it temple. So if I as an individual and I have some function at home, there's a lot of food which is perishable, which has a good shelf life. I just go to the temple directly and give it. Now why this system comes into places, if it's for let's say 100 plus people, then what do I do? How do I transfer it to containers, or how do I give it? So where I need stakeholders or people should help me out with this.
So my question is for the person who is expecting food from this system, who is below poverty line, that one day we serve the needy and we have fed them. Next day, are they expecting that again this day will come and someone will distribute food?
Yes, yes. Because people, not just food, but they'll also donate. Let's say they have a dedicated place, or we know where these spots are. People do donate, be it clothes or be it anything, any goods which are helpful for them. Yes, they do expect, but at times it could happen that we might run out of food, or let's say that day there's no food that was there in the food bank. So yeah, that could happen. So need to think of something on those, but not thought right now. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
One question, I mean, definitely a lot of detailed work as expressed earlier. One question: what might be a risk in this system? I mean, you've done a lot of system level thinking, right? Like how it would work in city, how it would work in villages and farms, etc. What are some of the risks in this?
I think the shelf lives of the food, and if it's not adulterated, or I think that will be like a lot of concern. How it's handled would also be like a very main concern, because yeah, like we say that we'll take care of good practice of hygiene and see like if it's stored well and everything. But I think from where it's coming and who will taste the food, like, or who will trust like, no, this is the food for all, and like for people it is not, it's because people might reject food. Like, let's say I give some orders and I taste it, I say, okay, this was not something that I don't want it, do something new, order for me. So now where will that food go? Was there some salt in that? So I think that area is also like a big concern in this whole system, is what I see, especially for the cooked food.
Judges, are we done with the questions? Shall we move on to the next team? Okay, can you guys stop presenting? Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
Moving on, we have UX team. Are you guys present?
Yes.
Yeah.
So just one moment, the beginners team has not presented yet, right? I mean,
Yeah, they will present at the end.
Okay.
Yeah. Thank you.
Good evening. Thank you, Krishna. Good evening, Joey. This is Prasad from Hyderabad, and my partner is Gayatri Gaikwad. We team up as a UX team. Let me quickly share my screen. I hope you can see my screen.
Yes, we can.
Right. So for the 2022 Sarva theme, for Better India, we choose a problem solution for agriculture distress in our country. So I have planned this in two parts, where first one about the research and empathizing phase of mine on towards this problem, and also the document which supports this empathizing things. So this is our research part where we done code shorting, everything. So let me read out to you for this problem statement where I want to discuss more on around that. Farmers in India facing high pressure from the lenders, which leads to agriculture distress in the country. So we want to help them with stress-free financial options through digital products. So the reason for this problem to take up is recently I come across a news like where a pregnant woman crashed in a tractor while recollecting the loan from the farmer. So not only that, even if I go with the secondary research, the number of farmers were decreasing to half of its size as per the next census, which is going to be literally a alarming thing for all of us to see on. And if this goes on, we will be in an emergency situation for our food shortage and all. And so that we took up this, and we have ideated a lot of solutions, and shorted the best ones, and we created a cons and pros on this, and then we have created a product called Bharat Kisan app. So I will make you to go through it, and here it's an overview. India is worldly famous for its agriculture toward the world, and but unpleasantly it lies on the fact where farmers are facing too many problems, and so that's why we are creating a solution to make this in an easy and convenient way for them. And so what we did in this project is a persona, user flow, and design system. And mostly we followed a user-centric process here, where our users are students, agriculture students who are voluntarily acting as per our app. And the needs which they are fulfilling is farmers' financial stress for the next season or whenever they want to invest on something on it. And here, these are the pain points we got it, like farmers feeling huge pressure from the lenders, and farmers are giving up the agriculture field due to the loans, and farmers are not comfortable to use digital space, and they need easy and quick disbursal of loans. And due to these complications, no one taking up agriculture as a career option. So what are the possible solutions we came is we need to make farmers stress-free from the loans. And also we need to encourage farmers through local community. We need to help them with agri students as volunteers and arranging easy co-funding system for the loans. and also educate farmers in the society with the learning and importance of the farming to the country. And also we created some personas imaging as fictional characters, where Manoj Tripathi is our agriculture student. He's a helpful nature and very educated, and he's always eager to do something on this field. So we're taking one persona here, and other person is Deepak Chauhan, who is the agricultural farmer, and he's having right now a lot of stress on him because he's having short of funds for his next season, where he wants to do a cultivation for the next season. So that's his problem situation now. So we have empathized with the users, what they say, what they're thinking, what they does and feel. And the same with the Deep Chauhan, who is the farmer. And later we created a we have created a fictional user stories where Chauhan created these things and all. So now we created a small user flow within a product where the splash screens and everything come up. And now we created a small style guide for it. And this is our solution. What is we come up with this solutions like digital product called Bharat Kisan. So we will be having these splash screens, and then we will create a login screens. And now we created a small, most valuable user flow, which is the main theme of this product. So that is home screen. In home screen, you can see the ongoing fund which is required, and also latest funds. And here you can see what is the percentage it is covered, and how many people viewed it, and how many days left for the fund to release us. This is actually taken an inspiration from the Keto app, where we all see crowdfunding for the health related issues. But this is where we keeping that as a crowdfunding investment for the farmers. So and after that, if for example, if I am as a middle-aged man looking out for an investment, and I can see this, and if I click on some fund, so that I can land up into a product page where funding details will be shown. So like the expected returns, who is managing this fund. By the way, this is managed by our volunteers who are agricultural students. And also we will give the description about this product and how it's gonna work out, and the lock-in period. And even we can see the CTA for sharing this, where they can share to the other people as well if they are interested. And so if I feel, yeah, okay, I can invest some bucks into it, example 10,000 like that, so that I can click on the start investment, and then it will land up to the payment page where I can see whom I'm paying and all the payment summary. Then I will click on the complete payment, and this is what the solution.
Less than a minute is left.
Sorry.
Just less than a minute is left.
Okay, thank you. So this is what the solution we try to create, and the moreover, what we try to underlying solution for this is we are safeguarding the present farmers, and also be encouraging the next generation to take up this as a respectable field, just like how we treat our militaries. So that what happens, we will be having a sufficient food resources for our upcoming generations, which keeps not only healthy, it gives us resources to build our nation, like ethanol for sugarcane. So that's how we created, and I'm open for your questions. Your inputs are really mean to me for the step on this project. Thank you.
Prasad, I might have missed it, but the crowdfunding part was for a particular loan they have taken, or they have a financial emergency that they.
For example, I'm as an farmer, I'm looking for a next season funds, for example, 10 lakhs. So what happens, as a community is built with the agriculture student in that locality, he will tell to that age, to that student. So what he will do, he will raise a fund there, stating this Deepak Chauhan needed 10 lakhs as a fund for the next crop. So he will keep that one, and he will start this funding things as a keto. So the all the small parts will together make that huge amount, and that will be repaid by the farmer once his lock-in period 3 years is completed.
Thanks.
Yep.
Judges, do we have any further questions? Shall we move on to the last team, the beginner? You
I have a very basic feedback, which is where you're writing things like description and stuff. It's make it more user friendly. If it stays legal. It sounds like it's legal language, or it's very complex to read, not very convenient, not very inviting for people to read on a mobile phone. This is very basic UX feedback. The copy, the description that you've written, you need to make it maybe more concise, maybe more easier to understand and consume.
Sure.
Okay, you guys can stop presenting.
Thank you.
Thank you. Moving on to the last team, the beginner. Yeah, you guys can start.
Thank you so much. Sorry for the inconvenience earlier. I hope everyone can see my screen.
Yes, Shreya.
All right, thank you. So our topic was for designing for the future was improving emergency first response in India. And our team was a group of 4 strangers comprised of mechanical engineers turned designers and a decent design graduate, that is me. Yeah, so finding the problem, if I have to give you a textual context, 24,012 people die every day due to delay of medical assistance. To elaborate it further in layman terms, something that you all can relate to would be that if per se you're in a field one day, you see someone getting bitten by a snake. So what do? From what we know around us, we'll tie their leg, we'll try to stop the infection from flowing, but that's actually the wrong thing to do because that can lead to amputation. So in the limited time that we have, we wanted to provide verifiable sources and quick ways of first aid response so that it can expedite the entire process, the golden period that we say of waiting for an ambulance, and how maybe we can just learn basic life skills like maybe CPR or just things to do or not to do, whether in an emergency. Some of the insights that we got from our secondary as well as primary research, wherein we talked to a doctor and a few of our users, we got to know that the emergency medical services right now are very fragmented and not accessible, considering we know that 911 is known by all, but do you all know the medical number, emergency number? No, right? And it's not 100. That's the police number. Second point was that providing emergency first response care can actually mean the difference between life and death. This was also verified by a doctor, where they said that it's not actually the time wherein we're sitting in an ambulance and maybe it's the ambulance care that wasn't appropriate, but it's actually the waiting period when we are waiting for the ambulance. What's that first aid that we can give to help save the afflicted's life? Another thing was learning is universal. Anyone can learn. You don't need to have a degree to learn these basic life skills. It's not inherently expensive. You don't need to spend a lot of money to learn these skills because it's just basic things like, how to apply pressure rightly on the rib cage and on the tummy. Another insight was that the user said only if they've experienced it will they know how to actually tackle the problems in real life. If they haven't experienced it, they wouldn't know how to. Some of the present solutions there was a 300-page first aid manual, pretty lengthy. There's this application called VMDO. It's not immersive in the sense that it doesn't give you real life training, and it's private. It's privatized. That's why I can say that there's less recognizability. And also, like I said, the number 108, even though we know it's the ambulance emergency number, still no one is really aware of that number. So what we wanted to do with Sarthi, which is a new age immersive experience, we wanted to connect it with a nationalized scheme so that there is, more trust and credibility to the entire Sarthi scheme with the National Authority of Health in India. We focused on 3 major buckets, that was learn, immerse, and connect, which I'll be touching upon further. Learning would be for us to learn these trainings maybe through immersive videos, 2D videos, and it would be credible because the doctors would also be immersed with us and it will be a collaborative effort. Immersion would be because we will leverage the help of MR and then somehow train ourselves in real life as to what we have learned theoretically. And then connecting would be, we'll connect to a bunch of Sarthis. This will be a platform wherein we bring in all the first aiders or golden aiders who will help us during an emergency situation while we are waiting for an ambulance to arrive. Some of the goals that we wanted to achieve was increased engagement through collaboration and MR. accessible for all, because we will provide audio descriptions, AI voice assistance, language preferences, considering India's cultural country, authenticity through certified first aiders, and interactability, because we want to collaborate with others and it will create a stimulating environment. So for the landing page, the personal view on the landing page, like we can see, it would be a collaborative, hypothetically a collaborative by the government. You can go on the certification page, you can get the certification, or if you want to quickly access the videos, you can do that as well. Considering it will be a time of emergency, we also have a hotline. We do not expect users to skim through videos while they are going through it all, through the moments of anxiety. So this hotline, this bling will basically be the connecting factor for you to find Sarthis, for example. In the meantime, we will also connect them to doctors to, for example, provide them with basic care in the time that the ambulance arrives. The collaborators could be NGOs. It could be started at the school level, college level, office level, just as important as the skill we have, like life skills, or we have full attendance. Why not have a class for, or why not have schedules or classes for first aid as well?
Reminder, 1 minute left.
Yes, got it. Like I said, the 3 categorizations. First would be if they're not registered, they just want to skim through the videos. We have those videos without registration. Second would be certified courses, wherein first they will learn about the course and proceed on to which they can then immerse themselves in the MR context and save the patient in real time. And third would be to find your Sarthi. A little on the learning page, like I said, it will have different levels. So from what we understood, there are 2 different levels. One's called a first responder level, one's called an advanced level for people who go for maybe trekking and they have very niche problems. So yeah, so after their learning is done through the videos, they can actually apply it in real time through, like I said, the MR experience. It will be collaborative. They can have their peers also helping them through this. So it will be a very gamified version, wherein we can also add the entire aspect of power of tiny gains, wherein we also give them a sort of reward or gratification by the end of each level. Last was a connection through Sarthis. For example, if there is any emergency and per se you have not taken the training, you're not equipped, so you can also leverage the help of Sarthis nearby. You can also maybe have a video call or chat with doctors, and on video call they can direct you as to how we can quickly do some things, like, you know, if someone's having a stroke, there is a life-saving drug that we can actually give them that can prolong their consequences for 3 hours. So all these smaller things that they can help out with. So the impact here would be going back to the snake bite that you were talking about in the beginning. Maybe this time you know that we don't have to tie any cloth on them, on their leg, or we don't have to suck out the poison, because that might have you affected as well in the end. So hopefully the solution would, because of the real-time immersion and the learning, this solution would cater to the fact that you would know how to implement the first aid skills better, perform CPRs, do all the dressing well, maybe do a minor, maybe know a few life-saving drugs as well. And it will all be verified by doctors who would be on call as well. We do not want people to be administering drugs on their own. And yes, thank you so much. I'll stop saying.
Can we just go through the screens once, because I lost network in between, the screens didn't move. थोड़ा zoom in करना please.
Yeah.
Okay, stay there. So just go back to the previous screen. Okay, purely from a UX point of view, this doesn't really, I mean, the whole crux of the emergency to find what I need. Landing page पे address नहीं हो रहा है.
Right, okay.
We're giving information and statistics, which is great, but that should not be top priority. If I come to Sarthi, the first thing I should see is, I need help. What do I do? So the narrative, the homework is all good, but it needs to be a little more upfront. Definitely needs to, when I come here, I should identify immediately, get help for XYZ.
All right, got it.
Yeah. So that bit needs to kind of
Got it.
come out more strongly. ये थोड़ा literature पे ज़्यादा जा रहा है. It's more writing, less actionables.
All right.
Next page, please. Yeah, this should probably be higher up, maybe, in the order of things.
All right.
Or find your Sarthi for what emergency are you here for?
Got it.
Those kind of things. So a major value proposition, thoda dikhna chahiye. So certification training, definitely. But if you're looking at Sarthi as a place for, connect me to the right person.
Right.
Find me the right person. Then you need to get a little more information from the users and capture their situation and then assist them. So wo thoda, it becomes a more active app.
All right, got it.
Active website or app, whatever it is.
Do you think geolocations of the Sarthi available near you, just in case you are not the Sarthi?
Yes, I mean, we wanted to integrate geotags as well. What we had also thought of ahead in the solution was that maybe we can also have integrations of, considering we are designing for the future, we could also have integrations of smart wearables, and we already have a medical Aadhaar card. So somehow we can also send our geolocations to our Sarthi as well as the medical facility so that they can prepare about, once they have received our vitals and history through the transfer of information that would happen, that they can be better equipped and it can maybe sort of fasten the entire recovery process as well as the preparation process.
Okay.
But definitely for the UI part, I agree, we should look at, we can reorder the hierarchy as well. The reason why we chose cream, I think, was also because to have a sense of calm, but I definitely get your point. We should have a few things higher up in the hierarchy and reduce on the copy a little.
Can we go through the other screens as well?
Yeah, just a second. Yeah, I think we're done with the Sarthi screen.
Okay. I think the homework and research is fairly robust. Design-wise, the solution can have some improvements for sure.
All right, got it.
Hey, Avinash here. So I'm from the beginners team. So I just wanted to add one little point over here. That the solution that we envisioned is more on, we regularly call, so whenever there is an emergency, we used to call a helpline number and get some help. And while the ambulance comes in and the 108 helpline number, they can directly connect us to some help, first aid services. So we wanted to leverage this connection between the privatization of private entity that creates a network of first aiders, and they connected to the they are integrated to the government. And whenever someone calls for a helpline, so whenever there's an emergency, and their call get automatically connected to one of the first aiders, which is connected to our network, and they get the help. So while the ambulance is on that way. So that is why we don't see that call to action on the designs, because the designs are more focused on creating that network platform where we are onboarding the first aiders and getting them trained and making sure like everyone is getting proper information. So that is where we are training the first aiders. But wherein coming to the user part, so any random user, they can just call the helpline number, universal helpline number, and they get their service done right there through a phone call. So we don't want them to have some complex interface, so that we never know like whether the person is having an internet or if what
No,
situation.
what I meant is find your Sarthi bit. Helpline to hai hi, but the find your Sarthi bit which you have included in your thing. Usko thoda we need to bring it up front is what I meant.
Okay, got it.
You will get more traction if you have an emergency service of find your Sarthi more upfront. मतलब मैं आके certification course करूंगी is a less probable use case than मैं आके emergency के लिए help ढूंढूंगी.
Okay. Yeah, makes sense. Yeah.
That's what I meant. Okay, if since you're positioning it entirely over first aid and emergency, that we are here for you wala bit has to come out more strongly.
Got it. Yeah. Thanks for the feedback.
Thank you so much.
Good solution though. Getting certifications and made availability is good. I think that's need of the hour.
Definitely.
This can be introduced to college schools also, right? During 8th and 9th standard at least, or colleges mandatory one.
Yes.
When you spoke about the snake example, my daughter was just telling me yesterday, sometime in the last week, about the same thing. Okay. Somebody told her in school, one of the teachers in school said that we need to tie a tourniquet and all that. And she's like, no, but that's not the right solution. And then she had an argument with her. So it just came back to me.
Yeah.
Yes. So can I just add more pointers here? I am Kshitija from the Beginners Group. So first goal for the solution was to educate people about first aid only. And then when we are educating them, then you can have first aiders or like first aid treatments in golden hour of emergencies. So it's possible only when we will educate, first of all, when only we'll educate people. So that's why it's like to first create Sarthis with the help of education and certification courses, with help of certified and verified doctors. So they'll have like a proper, authentic first aid information. And then after that, we'll have this we'll create like entire network of Sarthis. So that's what like the secondary thing we wanted to do here. And then in case of emergency, if you need, and this won't be an application or mobile application thing, it's going to be like a web app thing where you just Google and the Sarthi's homepage will be there. It depends on your Google search thing. So, and in future also we want to do things like, so if there is any area like emergency prone areas or accident prone areas, they can be kiosk or anything or any digital kiosk there you can so if Sarthi is not present there physically, at that time you can also book like a virtual first aid assistant.
Got your point. Yeah, absolutely. Planned stuff. It has to be purpose. We have to really package it well and communicate it, and what you say.
Yes.
A marketing communication going to be critical. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you so much for your feedback.
Thank you. Thank you, Visionaries. So while we await the announcement for the winners, I would request all the judges if they can share their thoughts on the presentation and the ideas the participants have put forth.
I really love the problems that people have taken up. Very unique. Each one is very different, and the way they have solved it also, it's very different. So really, kudos.
Yeah, very interesting problems, and I guess genuine ones also in each of the segments that we see. In farmers, I can see a lot. Food is also one thing which is very critical. I guess, yes, interesting. I can see the inspiration that you're thinking about, genuine problem that you might have faced day in, day out. Good effort.
Yeah, same here. I mean, I like the problems that all the teams have picked up. It's really good to see those, and not problems that would be. I mean, these are outside of your kind of comfort zone, right? I had a couple of few inputs also. One is around the process. I mean, definitely one theme. I mean, these are themes I notice. It's not pointing to any particular team. You all have done a great job. I mean, given the time, right? 2 days. It's not a lot of time, but look at what people do today. What do they use? Some of the things are really there in WhatsApp, Telegram, YouTube. There are a lot of networks that are there. Of course, all of this can be improved, but and it can be organized better. But can it be a start in just using, what's already there, especially some of the things which are not of daily use. I think this came up in a couple of different presentations, right? That could this be a WhatsApp bot? Could this be like, can I learn this on YouTube instead of having another app or a kiosk or something like that? The other one is around the design input. Force yourself to design for people like the user. You all had personas, and you all had some input around the kind of person you want to design for. But really, in that person's shoes, show them people like them, right? Many of these problems were of adoption. I think it came up in all the judges pointed out that why will someone use this? People will use it if you show them people like themselves. That forces you to package it also for someone like that, right? Students looking for a career, a blue collar worker, like if you show them something top down, that may not work. Something might be more impactful if it is someone like them in their shoes who is talking to them, right? In a language that they understand. And so even in that, you focus on the content over building new platforms. There are some great use of technology. I think Smart Farmer and etc. A lot of good use of technology, blockchain for the land records and all that. Those are very really needed, but maybe you don't need it for each and every problem that way. And the last thing I'll say, and then I'll be quiet, is around the pitch itself. Practice your timing. It's very tempting, I know, given in a hackathon type of environment, to work on your presentation till the last minute. But if it's a 5-minute pitch, you can spend 20 minutes, right? Just record yourself giving that pitch and listen to it. You can do this twice in 20 minutes and iterate on it. That delivery of the message is just as important, or sometimes more important than your the presentation itself, or the way you put your slides together. So practice your pitch. That's very important. But yeah, kudos to all the great work, and stuff.
Yeah, I think great work done by everyone, and rightly said that you need to time yourselves, and you need to basically you need to tell the story concisely. It's a pitch. It's literally a pitch. So you know what an elevator pitch is, right? Within 5 minutes, you have to convince the guy that I have a good idea. For that, you have to be very clear with your problem statement. You have to be very clear with your demographic, and you have to focus clearly on the topmost points of the solution that you're offering. Sara sab kuch detail mein mat jao, but at least you've identified your persona, you've identified your problem. Now show me what are the top 3 things that you're doing to solve the problem. That's it. We don't need to go too much into detail, but it should be, very clear the way it is conveyed in a pitch presentation like this. I think, yeah, otherwise great effort by everybody. It's nice to see young folks come up with good ideas.
Yeah, indeed. Thank you so much, judges. That was quite insightful, and I hope everyone, all the participants have heard that quite clearly. So now I'd open the floor for all the participants to share their experience with Sarva 2022. Open for you guys. Yeah. Any experience you want to share?
Like, I want to go first. Like, this is like so first of all, sorry for losing my cool at the pitch. So first of all, sorry for that. But the whole experience was really good. Like yesterday by 2 o'clock, we didn't had like team members. I was like tagged with random people, and most of my teammates back out at like 12 o'clock afternoon yesterday. And then I got tagged with some new folks, and then we come up with some ideas that what we can do. Then Sinthal sir helped us a lot for each and every step going forward. So kudos for Sinthal sir, and thank you to each and every volunteer, the organizer and the founder, for coming up with such great ideas and giving us a platform to showcase what kind of skills we have and what we need to improve going forward. So thanks a lot for that. That's it.
Thank you so much. Anyone else wants to share some experience?
Yeah, Krishna, I just want to put on, it's really helped me out to making a critical thinking, taking the time constraint. So I feel we need these kind of kind of hackathons, and I'm feeling so privileged to be a part of this. Thank you.
Yeah, I see Prithviraj, you have put your hand up. You can.
Yeah. This is hi. We are from team 403, team Fast and Curious, and we enjoyed this whole experience. Hackathons happen for tech teams and tech companies participate in that, but for designers there is none or very rare. So this is our first time we took participate in such kind of thing, and for 48 hours straight we just slept only for 4 hours, and it was amazing. We put a lot of brains, we did a lot of research, and it was crazy. It was fantastic. All of us loved it, and it wouldn't have been possible without the quick help provided by the FL Studios team, the amazing volunteers, as well as the mentor, our mentor Amit Jain. So he's a fantastic, mind-blowing guy. Thank you, Amit, and thank you, F1 Studios team.
Thank you so much, guys. I'm glad that you guys had fun. Yeah, you can go ahead.
So this was like my first designathon, and I have like barely stepped into this field. Like just few months ago, I have started experimenting, and I had so much fun during this entire thing. And more than that, because earlier I was the only judge of my own imperfections, but this time I got to look at so many aspects, retrospect, and I really want more to participate in more such designathons. And my team members were amazing, the mentors, volunteers, everyone, and even going through the pitch sessions, I came to know so much. I couldn't be more grateful and feel lucky to have been a part of this designathon.
Thank you very much. Almost ready with the results. Give us few more minutes and we will announce the top 3. Now I would like to invite Shama to announce the top 3. Over to you, Shama. Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. Am I audible?
Yes, you are. Yes.
What an amazing evening. What an amazing evening filled with incredible ideas, presented so beautifully and carried out in such a small span of time. We have witnessed in past 2 days teams working in coordination, brainstorming, ideating, and showcasing their brilliant solutions for this moment. Ladies and gentlemen, the final results of Sarva'22 have arrived. And from what I hear, that it was indeed a very difficult decision to make. But before we get to the top 3, I would like to mention that the 10 teams who have reached the finals here should be very, very proud of themselves. You have reached the finals among the entries of over 100 teams made by about 400 individual registrations. So a big kudos and a big round of applause to all the finalists. And now for the moment that we all have been waiting for. I have the results, and among the top 3, shall we go? Can we, yeah, can we have the team Fast and Curious come on the camera, please?
Yeah, sure.
Yay! Congratulations to you all. You are on the 3rd place. Very well done. Very well done.
Yes. Thank you.
Yes.
Thank
And
you.
Congratulations, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Just a minute. So, wait.
Shivam, is there a held up?
Yes, just a minute.
Okay. Looks like the decision indeed.
Anirudh, if you want, you can stop sharing. Okay, fine. Continue. Yeah.
Oh, okay. So Fast and Curious, congratulations. Very, very well deserved. Very good work done. You are at the 3rd place. And for the next place, can I have the following team to come on the camera? Can we have Team Titans and the Beginners?
Team Titans.
Oh, can we have the team? Yeah, so between Team Titans and the Beginners, we have Team Titans at the 2nd and the Beginners at the 1st place. So good work done, everyone. So
thank you, ma'am.
We have the Beginners as the Sarva'22 winners. Congratulations to all the winners. This is your moment. Celebrate it, and a well-deserved victory. That would be all for me. I would request Vaishnavi to take the program forward. Over to you, Vaishnavi.
Congratulations, everyone.
Thank you. Yeah, congratulations to all the winners. We are coming to an end to this wonderful event, so I would like to request our UX director, Shalaka Dhige, to give us a vote of thanks.
Yeah. Thanks, Vaishnavi. Good evening, everyone. It is my privilege to propose a vote of thanks and acknowledge the contribution of all who made Sarva' 2022 a memorable event. First and foremost, I'd like to thank the jury, Sameer Bhivani, Malvika Patel, Suhas Bendre, and Vimal Sharma, who have taken the time to be with us today to evaluate the top 10 submissions. We are also grateful to Shashank Deshpande for sharing his journey and priceless experiences during the keynote speech yesterday. A big thanks to all our mentors for providing their valuable contribution, guidance, and encouragement in all the efforts of our participants over the last 2 days. My heartfelt thanks to all the volunteers who have worked hard behind the scenes to ensure smooth running of Sarva' 2022. Last but not the least, thank you all the participants for your enthusiasm, creative design solutions, and of course, cooperation in making this event a resounding success. Once again, thank you all for embracing Sarva' 2022. See you again in Sarva' 2023 next year. Have a good day.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Shalaka. The joy work being on the jury of this design con. It was lovely. I think great ideas, great work by the team in the background. I can understand it's not easy to organize something of this scale. I think that's a lot of entries to go through and a lot of coordination to do. So great stuff, guys.
Absolutely. All volunteers. In fact, there have been several teams. We had hosting, we had onboarding, and of course we have Richa, who's all driving this. And it's tremendous work that they have done, guys. So yes, thanks to all the volunteers. Great
Yeah,
job.
thank
Have
you.
a great evening.
Great. I think a lot of effort goes in the background of something like this. So great stuff.
Great. Thank you so much. Have a great evening, guys, and good night. Bye-bye.
So much. Big
Thank
thank
you.
you.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.